Electrical Heating and Air, Bonnie.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlot with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will be without all-star guard De'Aaron Fox once again, who is out with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. San Francisco 49ers are back from their bye this weekend. They're on the road to face Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can listen to Sunday's game with pregame at 9 and kickout scheduled for 10 right here on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get started with the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's November 10th.
Good
Morning. It's Dave, Jason, and Chris. And it's a Friday. It's a drowsy Friday for Jason Ross.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah.
Sleepy pants. I slept a lot.
I'm feeling great.
Yeah?
I'm actually, I had a tough week. This is great. Woke up today. I didn't say anything yesterday, but I was kind of hurting towards the end of the show a little bit.
Is that why we hugged?
It is. It was emotional.
Yeah.
And today's really the first day this week. Of course, it's a Friday where I'm like, let's go. And I come in and you got donuts.
Chris brought them in.
And Chris brought in donuts. Have you tried one yet?
No, but I know. Oh, they're Marie's donuts. They're fantastic.
I'm not worried about Marie.
Oh, Chris didn't do anything to them. You know, why don't you try?
You guys give me way too much credit.
I guess we'll find out. But yeah, Jason, you mentioned that you got some shut-eye last night.
Yeah.
Extended
like an
shut-eye.
abnormal amount.
Yeah.
And I'm like groggy this morning. Yeah.
Isn't that weird how that works? How sometimes you sleep too much and then you're tired the next day.
I want to go have some more.
Yeah. We don't have like a safe space nap room here.
I know, it's true.
We should have a KHTK nap room.
Yeah.
How dirty was
It's
that?
called KNCI.
That's a great point. I mean, we do have all these prod rooms over here.
Yeah.
There should be a mattress in one of them.
Yeah.
I think. Have you ever slept at the station?
No. But there's been many times where I thought of it because of being here late for Kings games and certainly back here early in the morning, but I have not.
Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I first started and was doing weekends, I had to do the Saturday, Sunday morning shift. And this is back at the Madison building.
Yeah.
So my plan was the first 2 hours was just like recorded PSA shows.
Uh-huh.
And like all I had to do was press the next button. And then I wasn't doing anything for 2 hours. So I'd go in the studio where they had those really big chairs.
Yeah.
I'd turn everything off, fall asleep.
Yep.
And then about 5:45, our cleaning lady would walk in.
Oh, that too.
Scream.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Chris.
Frightened. No,
Hi, Chris. No.
absolutely frightened.
Oh, frightened.
Because she wasn't expecting me in there. And this happened for conservatively about 4 months straight.
The best alarm right there.
Oh, to the custodian.
Yeah.
She was great. She's still.
Don't know.
She's not here, is she?
No. But I don't know.
No, I doing the night show, I was usually right around her shift, and she'd come in, and this was right when I had the kids, and she always would, how are the babies?
Yeah.
And, look at I'd always have pictures and stuff like that to show, and but you're right. The Madison building, I think, what?
I just think about poor
I know.
Like Deuce's whole quest was to scare the you-know-what out of her. And he did it all the time, and then she would invent swear words at him, and it was great. I mean, as someone that I'm like, Deuce, come on.
Right.
But then the interaction was usually pretty funny.
Yeah. He would prank her a little bit.
A lot.
I know. He kind of he's got this whole demeanor. I mean, we've all grown up and matured, but he's got this demeanor. Good, solid, upstanding member of the community. There is an evil side.
Yeah.
Just a dirty, just an evil side. But we all have pasts we're trying to run from. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It is Friday. You have made it. As I always say, if in fact this is not your weekend, get better jobs. No,
you always say that.
I always say that. What do I have for you? I watched a movie with my daughter. My daughter and I, this whole thing with my wife and son, my wife coaching and my son playing basketball is they don't get home until around 8:30 every night. I get my daughter from school and we come home. And a nifty little side effect is it's just she and I, and she finishes her homework and it's like, what are you doing? I don't know. What are you doing? So last night the football game was coming on. Also, Indiana was beating Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Giannis had 54 and getting ready to watch Orlando and Atlanta, mainly to see if my buddy, who put a decent amount of coin on the under because it was in Mexico City with the elevation, wanted to see how he did. Didn't do well. Didn't do well.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't work out. They apparently they're in really good shape.
Huh.
Oh man, I'm out of cash.
The over under on that game was I think it was 233.5. He told me. Let me look.
Was he just trying to make some quick money?
Just trying to make some quick coin for the weekend.
This seems like a cash grab.
It was. He did have big plans this weekend, and now
cash grab.
Eating that Cheerios. The over under was 233, and the final was 239.
Oh, that's the over.
That's the over. So there went that theory. So anyways, and she goes, Daddy, do you want to watch a movie? I go, what movie, sweetheart? And she goes, I want to watch this movie Across the Universe. I go, what is this? She goes, it's a that's where she got me. She goes, well, it's a story, it's a love story about, but it's set to it's like a musical, but it's all Beatles songs.
Oh,
that's one.
Daddy's interested.
Daddy because that's one place where she and I have bonded. I've gotten her into the Beatles, and it was a musical, and it was some very good versions of Beatles songs, some cool different arrangements. But I this is where I go right up on the line of talking about personal stuff, because this is the part of my life I tend to keep personal, but. We've erred on the side of sheltering our kids a little more than the average bear, but we're making a concerted effort now as they get ready to leave over the next few years to start to break the bubble a little bit. And she had already seen this movie. It's a PG-13 movie. What I wasn't prepared for, the language, it's like, we always laugh like, hey, don't say, we'll always joke about it. It's still uncomfortable to, I'm sure, for her to see swear words with her dad. I know people out there are laughing, but just think about it. I wasn't prepared for the nude scenes though, and so I just instinctively, and I don't know if this is the right dad move, but at one point it's kind of a Titanic thing where he's painting her and she's not fully, whatever. And I just I covered the eyes. I just
yours.
We both did that and yelled at you at the top of our lungs and just tried to work our way through it. And there were some adult themes and stuff like that, but we got through it. It's actually it was fine. If you're a Beatles fan, it's a fine movie. It's a weird movie, man, though. She's into this
cheating though.
Huh?
It feels cheating.
The what?
Using Beatles songs for your movie.
That's, really, where can you go wrong? And
it's a buddy traveling movie set to the Beatles.
Right, exactly. And the main character's name is Jude. And there's all kinds of different names that harken to Beatles songs throughout. But it was one of those movies that makes you feel like you're on mushrooms. Like there was a lot of weird artsy scenes. There's it's during the Vietnam War, and all this stuff. Hey, anyways, we had a nice night of eating leftovers and watching semi-uncomfortable Beatles movies together. And then everybody gets home, and this is kind of where it's gone now, Jason. They get home, and it's instantly, where's the food? No, which understandably so. They're hungry. They've been out all day and working out and running around and stuff, and then they come home and eat. And then I've barely talked to my wife and son all week. So this weekend's going to be interesting. I'm a little depressed because I'm not doing anything. I have no plans. Like, I'm serious. We're taking my son out for his birthday tonight. His birthday 2 weeks ago. This is the chance we have to. So we're taking him out to a restaurant, and that's it. I'm not going up the hill. Not hanging out with anyone. This is a dangerous moment because when you don't have plans, I've found plans become made for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm in a real vulnerable position right now because my wife also knows I don't have plans.
Yeah. And you know what this weekend was supposed to be.
I do.
But also I understand everything good with your mother. I was
just going to say that. So FaceTimed with my mom, dad, and sister yesterday early afternoon. Mom was morphined up, but in a great way. She was lucid, talking. Everything was great. She's sore, obviously, et cetera, et cetera. And as you've sussed out, that's why we couldn't go this weekend, and what are you going to do? Right. And no, she's not up. I'm purposely, if I'm being truly transparent, my parents listen every morning. If maybe you have or haven't noticed that I got real quiet on that trip. And part of it is if I tell the truth completely about why we couldn't go, I don't want my mother to feel guilty about it. But, and of course, she shouldn't.
Right.
She had breast cancer.
Absolutely.
She had surgery yesterday. My dad and I couldn't go on a football trip all weekend. Did I want to go? 100%. Is this opportunity going to present itself again? Not for, the Niners being in Florida the next day after Florida State, Miami in Tallahassee. That's probably not going to be for a while, but there are priorities. And
sure.
So anyways, I know my mother is probably conked out to probably 10 a.m. They loaded her up. So anyways, there are things even more important than that. And you can bond over football games, or you can bond over recovery. So yeah, that will be a part of the weekend because gotta make sure food's being at. My dad is not a cook. My dad's idea of a healthy breakfast is Taco Bell breakfast burrito. That's just his thing. And, he has a freezer stocked with chicken pot, those old banquet chicken pot pies, so he can get a full meal. And he has a cabinet stocked with Walmart cream soda. And he could have a chicken pot. He could have a Taco Bell breakfast burrito breakfast every morning. He could have a chicken pot pie for dinner. Maybe on a special night, maybe a Red Baron frozen pizza.
Whoa.
If he's really feeling it, he'll have a Celeste frozen pizza. That's for some reason
that's like tops.
That's
top
it.
drawer.
Not DiGiorno, not California Pizza Kitchen. No, Celeste. And normally he'll have either whatever was on sale, a Keystone Light, Schaefer, Pabst, Hams. But
the classics.
Chris's face is turning into like he just bit into a lemon. Yeah, dude. Why do you think I don't drink? Because that's what I grew up with. Albertson's charcoal flavored or charcoal filtered gin. That's what my dad had in the house. But again, this is my dad. If he's feeling like, it's been a great week, I'm really gonna celebrate. I'm gonna live in the front row of life. He pulls out a bottle of St. Pauli Girl. I think my dad has had a 6-pack of St. Pauli Girl bottles for like 3.5 years, and he just once every few months he'll pull one out. He doesn't drink it out of the bottle, pours it into a stein he has. He's dialed.
Yeah.
I've tried St. Pauli Girl. It's ass. It's just, but I don't like beer in general.
Yeah.
It's just, you're the same.
Just root.
Chris over there, he's drinking all that.
It's fine.
It's fine. Aren't you an IPA guy or whatever?
I don't really drink beer all that much anymore.
I know Kyle Madsen was always like, I've tried this Doc Martens oatmeal stout chocolate filtered whatever.
I don't know about you guys, but as you get older, it's really hard to lose weight, and it's extremely easy to gain weight. So like having a 400 calorie IPA just doesn't sound fun. It's not that one, but it's like, I mean, it's up there at like least 300.
What is this harder to lose weight thing he's talking about? That must only affect you. I find it easier actually to. My dad just texted me, "You're full of crap." No, I'm not, Dad. I know.
Does he like that soundbite?
I haven't asked. I haven't asked him yet, but probably not.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to. Yeah, I don't want any part of whatever. But good morning, Dad. Love you. Thanks for listening. And the rest of you, thanks for listening. We have a big show for you today, as always, on a Friday. Dave Richards, CBS Sports Fantasy Football, will join us at 7:27. My dad wants me to tell everyone right now my refrigerator is full of Dos Equis.
Oh, okay. Let's get the record straight.
Yeah.
He didn't question anything else.
Wait a minute. Green bottle or brown bottle, Dad? Look at that beer knowledge, right? Isn't that right? There's two. The green bottle and brown.
I think there's actually 3. I think they have a gold one as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's Tres Equis.
Brandon Nunes will join us for Niners at 8. Niners at 9, right? So, well, but he's going to talk basketball.
Yeah, Kings. Niners at 9 will be Papa.
Greg Papa will join us.
Unless he wants to talk Raiders again.
I mean, hey, that was
pretty amazing.
That was great last week, wasn't it? Brown bottle Dos Equis. Everyone knows the green bottle's the better one, Dad, right? Is that right? Green bottle's better, Chris?
That's what I prefer.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll lead it off. Kings game tonight. Not a complete Sacramento Kings team. We'll talk about that next.
Friday night at the Golden One Center, it's the Kings' first ever in-season tournament game.
Sabonis heels at the arc. Now to Keegan Murray on a run by. He shoots for 3. He's got the triple. Keegan Murray from downtown.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are in town to face the Sacramento Kings for Friday Night Hoops.
The quest for the cup begins Friday on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Davion now balancing the floor. Comes back to Barnes. Open, right corner. 3 on the way. He's got the triple. Remember that sequence as the Kings hit the century mark for the first time in their last 3 games. It's 100-98. Great effort. Keeping that alive by Harrison Barnes.
Well, guess what? It's finally here, everybody. It's Friday night in Sacramento and the debut of the NBA Cup with your Sacramento Kings tonight. Kings Thunder group play here.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
And yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing it. This makes I'm actually a little surprised it's this low. The Thunder are favored by 1.5 tonight.
Okay.
And that look, one of two things is going to happen. Either this is going to be some sort of surprising, they figured it out type of night. Or, and I sincerely hope I'm wrong, the Kings are getting blown off the floor tonight. The report in on De'Aaron Fox, he will not play tonight. I know a lot of us had just on our own circled today in the calendar, just thinking, well, he'll, Houston, Portland, he'll miss those 3 games. It sounded like it wasn't too serious of an ankle injury.
Right.
He can come back Friday at home and he'll have had a good few days off. Well, nobody wants him to come back too early. So I certainly, we all know that if De'Aaron Fox could play, he would play. But if it's not even if the Houston, Portland, and by the way, I don't know how you feel about this, Jason, but they won against Portland. They got blown out twice against Houston. I didn't really notice much better of a team against Portland. Like, it's not like when they played Portland, I went, oh, okay, well, they figured some stuff out. I don't want to say they played the same as they did against Houston, but I think it was not that far off. They just happened to play a much worse team than Houston.
Yeah, I think so. And I felt like there was just a little bit more fight in them.
Yes,
I think that's what was
grindy.
discouraging about the Houston trip. It was like, okay, you're getting beat the first night. That makes sense. But the response night, let's see. And then it was worse. That was really concerning. So I thought there was fight in them, but the execution, the way they played, not fabulous.
Maybe being at home helped a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want to get embarrassed in front of you don't want to lose, obviously, at all, but in front of your home fans. Tonight is a whole different ball game. Now, listen, we don't like to be too negative here. We don't want to yuck anyone's yum. And hey, I'd love nothing more than to come in on Monday and be like, wow, didn't expect that.
Right.
Great win. But on paper, based on recent history, this is not just a bad matchup for the Kings. This is a horrible matchup for the Kings.
Because?
Well, first off, you have the uncertainty of what Chet Holmgren's going to do both inside and outside, number one. Number two, who in God's name is stopping Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who missed a couple games, came back, had a wonderful night.
Davion Mitchell.
Josh Giddey is one of my favorite young players. Lou Dort's gonna, he's probably Dort is going to be. My guess is he'll check Keegan Murray, but he's a wonderful defender and always seems to have great games against us. And when you look at Oklahoma City's 3 losses this year, we talked about that last night. It's Denver, it's New Orleans, it's Golden State. Mm-hmm. Other than that, all wins. And they don't have any unquality losses, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I guess this technically would be a quality loss because they'd be losing in Sacramento to a playoff team last year. But this team seems to be a shell of what they were with De'Aaron Fox. They got to figure it out, or it's going to be a really bad night at Golden One.
Yeah, again, this is hope, so it's not. This hope is wish. It's not the plan. The Kings. I think they. I would like to see them play a lot more like they did, obviously, against the Warriors without De'Aaron Fox. That was a better team.
If that team shows up tonight, it's a different ball.
So they're capable of that, and that's what. And I don't know that the Kings took Houston lightly or not, or Portland lightly or not, but they were really motivated. They hate losing to that team. They really won that game. It was in their building.
Yeah.
There were a lot more things I would say going against the Kings that night than I would say even tonight. But it doesn't mean they're not playing a really good team. That'll be tough to handle.
Well, and we don't like it, and we don't want to hear it. But to your point, I guess one of the things you can hold out hope for is maybe this team's still in the mold of playing up and down to their competition.
It could be.
I would love nothing more than to come in Monday and say, wow, they really – not only they win Friday, but gosh, where was that team against Houston and Portland?
Right.
I don't think they're going to not be up tonight. But the problem is that this team is good.
Yeah.
This is almost certainly, in my opinion, a playoff team, but they don't have the cachet of a Nuggets or a Warriors or a big elite team. So you better take them really seriously, or you're losing this game by 20 points.
Let me ask you this: who's a better team they're playing in their next 2 games? The Thunder or the Cavs?
Thunder.
Really?
I do. I think the Thunder are tremendous.
Okay.
I don't think they're elite yet. I think the Thunder this year, they're knocking on that door. I love the way they're laid out. I try to forget their draft pick cash because that doesn't have any effect of them on the floor this year. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is arguably a top 5 player in the NBA right now, young and awesome. I love Josh Giddey. Chet Holmgren, as long as he's healthy, will alter anybody's offense. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, Domas can muscle him down low. That's not an issue. That's men against boys. But you can only muscle so much against that type of height and length. Be very interesting to see if he just that is my key matchup tonight. We'll talk about that later, but I do worry about this team. And by the way, Cleveland's pretty good too.
Yeah, they're really good.
Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
This will be from 59 yards, left hash, angle right. Wind looks calm. Snap, placement, kick short. Pinheiro has no chance. Well short. Fade to black.
What?
What
was that last line?
Fade to black?
Oh, okay.
Was it fade to black?
I listened to it like 5 times. I still didn't.
This will be from 59 yards, left hash, angle. to black.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's what it
I
is.
think it is.
Fade to black.
Oh,
This will
okay.
Now that you say, I wouldn't have picked that up, but once you said fade to black, I think that's what it is.
That's annoying.
Okay.
So was the game.
Yeah.
You said you went to sleep early, missed some of the game?
No, I saw the game.
You did see the football game? That's probably what forced you to go to sleep.
It might have
early.
been. It wasn't riveting.
Yeah, it was not great. It was everything we thought the game would be.
It was weird, that kick, by the way. Like, they're going for all these fourth down. I'm like, oh, there's another four. Wait, they're kicking?
Yeah,
Isn't
they're
this
kicking.
too far?
Yeah.
And then he kicked it, and you're like, hey, that's like 8 yards short.
Tyus Badge, the quarterback for the Bears right now. I thought this was interesting. His last 10 opponents: the Panthers, the Saints, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Vikings, Colorado School of Mines, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Slippery Rock University, the University of New Haven, and then Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Is that IUPUI?
Uh-huh.
Well, what's the UI?
Indiana University, Purdue University of Indiana, I think.
Are you serious?
No, I could be making that up.
That's like a platypus. Like, it's just name. It's what is that name?
Yeah.
Indiana University of Purdue University of Indiana. The Buzzcocks. Whatever. That's his last 10 opponents, and here he is in the NFL and got himself a win. It's a double win for the Bears, and we'll explain why at 6:43. We'll take a break. I know we're over. By the way, the Niners play this weekend. Don't know if you knew that.
I did.
We got a lot to talk about there, including Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners, joining us at his new time at 9 a.m. When we come back, however, De'Aaron Fox is out tonight, along with Trey Lyles. What does that mean, and how can the Kings win? We'll talk about it next.
Cut number 3.
Looking to snap their 3-game losing streak. The San Francisco 49ers are back in action this Sunday on Sactown Sports.
McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
It's the 49ers and Jaguars from Jacksonville.
Sunday morning at 10 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed, custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa.
actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my good feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Don't miss Provember at Lowe's. Save $80 on a DeWalt combo kit and save $20 on a 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams all-purpose power primer. Plus, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams products. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable, fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will be without All-Star guard De'Aaron Fox once again, who is still out with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's game with Game Night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. San Francisco 49ers are back from their bye. They are on the road to face Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can listen to Sunday's game with pregame at 9 and kickoff scheduled for 10 right here on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Want to remind you later today. By the way, does anybody ever hear this song and not think of Neo flying out of the phone booth in the Matrix? Is that just me or the end of Matrix 1? Okay, it's just me.
Dork.
Love Metallica. So we are giving away Creed tickets. I started doing some real legwork last night on my personal Creed tickets. And
is this the Iowa trip?
No. This is the local one first. By the way, it may not be Iowa. What was the alternate one I looked at?
North Dakota?
No, it was was it Colorado? It was someplace where I was like, there are a lot of Creed. In looking on Ticketmaster, weirdly enough, I found the more south you went, the higher they sold their tickets. Like the more they were sold out. But we need to get somebody from Live Nation, or more specifically the amphitheater on the horn here, because I have a question. So I'm all ready to go and throw the old card out for the Creed meet and greet party VIP package. I'm really excited about this potentially. You get a ticket, you get a meet and greet and a photo op in front of the stage with members of Creed. So it'll probably be the drummer, but that's fine because I know we went to Florida State. We'll have something to talk about. We'll bond. Pre-show sound check with members of Creed.
Are you on that? Check.
1, 2. Yeah, guys, you need me to fill in? No problem. One merch pack. That's going to be like a Creed button or something. Pre-autograph VIP poster. That's going in the bedroom. A laminate. Good, because don't have any of those. That'll be great. Pre-concert tour merch shopping. On-site VIP host and dedicated check-in early in. I mean, we're going to splurge on this one because it's Creed.
This seems like a cash grab.
A little bit. You don't know when you're going to get this opportunity again. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's what's holding me up. I'll read you the first line of the layout here. Includes one premium reserve ticket in the first 20 rows or one general admission pit ticket. There's a difference. You could either have a filet mignon or a chicken. There is a huge difference between a general admission, everyone stands in the front, you're rubbing up against a Creed concert, rubbing up against Ben Gay and cut off jeans, or
I thought Ben Gay was one person.
Benjamin Gay.
Yeah.
Or you're sitting, you're in what I would prefer. You got the seats and you're sitting and standing and whatever, but you're not that there's a big Creed mosh pit, don't get me wrong, but you have a dedicated space that's yours to watch. I'm not a pit guy anymore. Yeah. I'm old. I'm a seat guy now. So I don't know how you find out. I know the layout of that place. I'm guessing it's probably a pit ticket.
And you're less interested.
If it's a pit ticket, I could actually spend less money, not do the meet and greet and all that stuff, which I really don't care too much. Well, a little bit.
That's your answer.
But then I'd rather, the seats in the middle, I'd rather get one of those. Yes, Chris, in the back.
I'm still trying to understand what you're.
I need to know if am I buying?
Oh, from the sounds of when you read it out, I thought you got a choice of it.
No, it's.
Oh, they give you one or the other.
Oh, I didn't read it like that. I feel like I'm right on this, but that's an interesting proposition he brought up.
Like, I would think when you go online, it'll say, do you want the general admission pre-ticket or the first 20 rows pre-ticket?
I hope that's right. How do you, I guess the only way you find out is by clicking through.
Yeah. Which I hate when you get tickets now. It used to be like, hey, here's what the prices are going to be. This is what it's going to be. So when you go to get your ticket, you're prepared for it. Now it's just like, hey, they're going on sale. You're going to find out right when we need your credit card.
He's right. And then the little timer starts ticking down, and they're publicly available. So I will say this. I was a little surprised at the prices. Creed's making a little cash.
They're doing well. Good for them. Take advantage of this.
You want to take a guess at how much this particular ticket is?
I'm terrible at this kind of thing. So
before fees. I don't know what the fees are.
The fees are going to be like 10% at least.
$250. All right.
I'm going to say $375.
$791 a ticket. I mean, I like Creed. Shut up, Chris.
You're Chris so clearly.
I don't know if I want to go that bad, though. I got to find a way. Is there a way to write this off as a job expense? We're giving away the tickets.
Show prep.
Maybe, yeah. This is a show prep thing. Going out there.
I talked Florida State with the drummer.
I did.
So I got some more intel.
Got some show prep in. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll update you on maybe Iowa is the right way to go. I can get into the fair. It's $35 to go see Creed. I mean, that's
and you get corn dogs.
I'm not lying. California is the most expensive state in the union here. What I'm really looking for is to go to some poor state. Let's just be honest, where the inflation is, everything's way low, and I can get a corn dog and a Creed ticket for $50,
right,
at the Iowa State Fair or whatever the hell it is.
They're playing in Simpsonville, South Carolina.
I looked at the East Coast ones and I thought about it, but golly, that's just a long flight. That's a lot. I have always wanted to go to South Carolina for try out the food. I am interested in the food there, but that's a long way to go. I was trying to keep it west of the Mississippi, but I don't know.
Oh, perfect. They're in St. Louis, Missouri.
I feel like there's a lot of Creed fans in St. Louis, Missouri, though.
St. Louis is gross.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of St. Louis. I'm also not a fan of De'Aaron Fox being out, but I understand it. Don't isolate that, please. He's out tonight. We don't know. There's no schedule for the return. Also, and look, we understand that this ain't De'Aaron Fox, but Trey Lyles is out again too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big deal.
That is. It's a big part of the old crew, and the Kings are going to have their work cut out for them tonight, Jason.
Yes, they will. And if Fox is out, Lyles is out. They don't play this weekend, so the next opportunity is Monday. Before then, the Kings hit one of their longest road trips of the year. So The most important thing is to get him right, to get Lyles right. There's a long season ahead, but you don't want to get yourself too far behind.
No, you don't. And I mean, we're not talking, as you said, we're not talking playoff positioning yet, but a loss now is a loss in April. I mean, it all factors in, and you got a really good Western Conference.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I personally, I think the in-season tournament's kind of a unique wrinkle. I want to see it play out, see how it all goes, see the advancing, see the Vegas part of it. The Kings are in the tournament, so I would like to see them win it, right? If they win, or if they do well in their bracket, that means they're also winning regular season games. That means they would win tonight. That means they would win next week when they play the Spurs, and then the Warriors after that, and T-Wolves, I think, are in their region. So those would all be important wins to me. I would like them to do well.
Would you rather the Sacramento Kings make the playoffs and lose in the first round, or miss the playoffs and win the NBA Cup?
Make the playoffs.
Okay. Chris has a poll out right now on the YouTube page. What are your thoughts on the NBA in-season tournament? Feel free to vote. Early returns are in. 64% love it. 17% hate it. 19%. What is the in-season tournament?
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised there's hate for it. Now, I can understand the 19% going, it's different. People always aren't sure about change. I'm not expecting people to love it, but I'm more questioning what it is and why. Not hating it.
I took the third option, and that's actually how I voted, was what is the in-season. Yeah. Obviously, I know what it is, but I feel like that's the option for.
It's also like, you know what? It might be cool.
Yeah. That's what I think of the in-season tournament. I don't care yet. But I don't know.
But I think you would if the Kings go 4-0 in advance.
100%.
Much like Summer League. Oh, wait, the Kings can win the Summer League championship?
Then I'm into it.
Let's go.
Then I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it, whatever it may be. If it's Kings and winning and whatever, I'm into it. But it's also kind of like, like watching that movie with my kid last night. Like, I don't know what the movie's about, so I'm going to keep an open mind. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll hate it.
Yeah.
But I know that I don't know, like tonight, is it, other than the jerseys and the court, like, is it going to change? Is this a bigger game to you?
Not necessarily, well, because it's the first one, I guess, but I don't know that it's a bigger game. But I think where the sweet spot, without seeing it play out yet, is that elimination part. Because the NBA, that's a game 7. That's a play-in game scenario. The play-in, I think, is pretty cool. That's turned into being something that's been kind of fun to watch develop. So I think that part's great, but you got to wait to get to there.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to, I think, recreate like an NCAA tournament, the pressure of, win or go home. Now, the weird part is you just continue on with your regular season, but they're trying.
I was going to say, I think part of it is like, well, what are we playing for? Like, what do you get if you win the NBA Cup? And then I was thinking, well, what do you get if you win the NBA Finals? Like, it's, the trophy. Yeah. So I think it would help a little bit more. Like, they haven't really talked much, or if they have, I've missed the conversation. Again, I know we joked about it, but do you get a necklace, a bracelet, a ring? Will there be NBA Cup championship merchandise? I got to think there will. Do you put
they have, I mean, you're talking about the Creed packages. They're full on travel packages for the in-season tournament in Vegas.
You're kidding me.
No.
I believe that.
I mean, they're doing this they're going crazy over this F1 thing right now. Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. By the way, where in Vegas are they playing the final? I got it.
T-Mobile, right?
I was going to say, it's not Thomas and Mack or Cox, right?
No,
Yeah.
T-Mobile.
But honest question. If you win the NBA Cup, do we raise a banner next year?
Yeah.
Right?
Probably.
I would NBA Cup banner.
I think that's what they want them. At some point, maybe at the very beginning of the NBA championship, when it first started, it's like, hey, this is cool. Like, look, you're trying to win every game, but what's this NBA Finals mean?
Right.
Okay, the last team. Okay, but it's ingrained. Now we know this is what you're playing for. I think this, if it all goes as well as the NBA would like it to, they'd want this to mean as much or close to as much as that. But it's certainly not there yet for the fan base.
Do we get to a point in the old zeitgeist where years from now, do NBA Cup championships enter into ring culture conversations?
Let's just pretend. Let's say it goes well, and this thing is a thing of the future, and and Victor Wembanyama is 20 years into his career, and they're like, well, he's better than Jordan and LeBron because he also won 7 cup tournament. I don't know.
Right.
But that's what someone would do to bolster someone's resume. They would reference that.
Like on their Wikipedia page, it says right on the right side, like all-star appearances, 3-time NBA champion. Do you think they're gonna have like
cup MVP?
Cup MVP.
Yeah.
And I do find myself thinking, like, what should the winners? They have to have said something.
Like, does the All-Star Game MVP? But they'll put that on, like, is a 7-time All-Star Game MVP.
They do. Yeah, who cares?
Game.
Right.
But they keep that. They keep those stats.
Maybe. What do you think? What do you think about medals? Like gold, silver.
I've always been big on that.
Gold, silver, and bronze medals for NBA Cup finishing. Like, they can't do they could do a ring, but that's lame. I'm just saying the ring's the finals. Right. You're going to get the big trophy, but then the individual players. And because we need replicas. If the Kings win, whatever the players get, we need to be able to buy replicas.
Yeah.
A crown.
Nice. Yeah.
Anyway, Oklahoma City tonight. We'll get into much more of that. Kings versus OKC tonight. But the open of the NBA Cup. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the Bears won last night. The Bears won twice. We'll tell you what that means next.
Looking to snap their 3-game losing streak. The San Francisco 49ers are back in action this Sunday on Sactown Sports.
McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
It's the 49ers and Jaguars from Jacksonville.
Sunday morning at 10 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Kings basketball is back. Coming off an exhilarating playoff run last season, you don't want to miss seeing this team in action. Be there when De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition Sasha Vezenkov, and the Beam team take the court at Golden One Center. Plus, catch the all-new NBA in-season tournament games against the Thunder on November 10th and the Warriors on November 28th. Tickets for games this season start at just $18. So head to kings.com/tickets and together, let's bring the roar.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, as always, of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening at Hoblet this month?
The Black Friday sales event is here, so you can save up to $14,500 off MSRP when you lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4xe. That's one of America's favorite SUVs to get your family where they need to go. And you can save thousands in gas over the life of the vehicle.
Okay, but what about that Jeep Wrangler that everybody loves?
Big savings there, too. Right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S 4xe. And yes, I did say the all-new 2024, Dave. I see the surprise on your face.
There you go. Better hurry in. Save thousands on your next Jeep. And they have 100 4xEs in stock as well. Stop by Hoblet Dodge for a test drive today or search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices. Unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
14,500 total net savings after 11,500 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discount. 13,000 total net savings after 10,000 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discount. Rebates include 7,500 federal tax credit rebate. Subject to change without notice. Lease options subject to credit approval. Not everyone will qualify. 5 of each net savings. See dealer for details.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
I know we're supposed to talk about the Bears game here, but I don't want to. Well, I said they won twice. That was the tease because they also own Carolina's pick. So by beating Carolina, that pick, the Bears very well could have their pick, which is going to be incredibly high, and the number one pick in the draft.
The turnaround happens.
The turnaround, yeah. I mean, granted, they'll probably draft crappy players, but they'll have picks to do it. There's something I forgot to bring up yesterday, Kings related. I just remembered it during the break. You know, we've had conversations throughout the months and years as the landscape when it comes to sports gambling has changed and leagues are embracing the money and states, not California, but states are beginning to, we've got a bunch of major league teams in Vegas now. The betting with BEDDING with gambling is full. It's the marriage the toothpaste is out of the tube. Mm-hmm. It's now a huge part of the sports landscape. And what caught my eye, and maybe some of you out there, is, and I don't know what prompted this other than I'm sure he was getting heat on Twitter. And I also don't know what the infraction, air quotes, was by Malik Monk. But he tweeted something that said, "I don't care about your parlays."
Yeah.
And then Kevin Herter quote tweeted it and said, respectfully, yes, or something like that. And then I proceeded to, like an idiot, read the comments and quotes. The large, vast majority of the responses were just the most toxic, terrible.
On social media?
Yeah. Oh. And I got to say, man, that is another side that just, it's so gross. Like, gambler, look. Let's be real clear here. I'm not against gambling. I understand, everything that should be in moderation. It makes games more fun. It's exciting. It's cool. Like last night, Bears Panthers. Who cares? Well, she had money on it.
Sure.
Because money is money. Doesn't matter.
Why do people play fantasy sports?
100%. Right. This is not a holier than thou. You shouldn't gamble. No, absolutely. Again, in moderation, be responsible. 1-800-GAMBLER, blah, blah, blah. But when you have people going after athletes because they didn't shoot enough or they missed the whatever that cost them the thing for that is your problem, right, sir / ma'am. If you're part of the gambling populace and you're giving crap to a player for not honoring and helping you win your thing, you're like, not that you'll care what I say, but you're not a great person. That is a degenerate.
Yeah.
Like dork. Look at exactly. It even goes, but it's beyond dork. Like dorks at least can be kind of cute and fluffy and cuddly. But you're talking like just dirtbag. Like you're a dirtbag. Look in the mirror. We all like to win money.
Yeah.
You lost, dude.
Yeah. There's a risk.
There is, there's
pretty significant risk.
There's a reason casinos are shiny.
Yeah.
You're a sucker.
They have the advantage.
What is the old saying? Yes, if you're in a room and you're looking around for the sucker, it's you.
Yeah.
Like you're a sucker. And if you're gonna take your heat out on an athlete who, by the way, I'm here to say I don't want any athletes ever caring about your parlay or any part of that. I don't want announcers really talk. I don't like it when Al Michaels or somebody else is throwing, like, it's every once in a while, like, well, that safety is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. That's fine. But I'm talking about, like, there was a Barstool.
I was just going to bring that up.
Oh,
disgusting.
I'll find the audio because I don't think they're swearing on it. Or Chris, if you would, we can play it at some point. But it's Barstool. It's not the official broadcast. I mean, it is, but it's the Barstool guys, Big Cat and all that. And I think Big Cat had the over, one of their guys, and he's screaming, shoot. That's a Barstool thing. I'm not upset at that, but just in general, like, memo to Gambling Nation, like, take the risk,
right? Live with it.
Leave the athletes alone. Yeah. And if you're not doing that, then you're lame. Not that you care that people, that type of personality doesn't care. They're middle fingers in the air. I don't care what you think.
Yeah. Next time we talk to our guy Kevin Herter, we should ask him. And I know the answer, but I don't know what the percentage. But if there was a question, was what percentage of that group that hit you for gambling is thanks, Kev. That last 3, put me on the plus. Like,
sure.
What do you think the percentage of the thank yous are? Less than 10?
Less. Oh God, versus the ones that get on.
Oh yeah, I hate you because you missed that shot in the third quarter that cost me that blah 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 blah.
It's like owning a restaurant. Like, if for every one complaint, you for every 1,000 complaints, you might get one compliment.
Yeah.
I would also be curious. I think that's a great question, Jason. I'd also like to know, hey, have you noticed since you came into the league, like, how much more intense and populated have those gambling comments to you become? Because I'll bet you this isn't something they were dealing with much 5 years ago, and now it's everybody and their mothers in there. Just don't.
And it probably is some mothers.
It probably is. Yeah, there's some mothers.
Yeah.
Just don't be a wiener.
Right.
Isn't that the rule? Just don't be a wiener. Yeah. Niners Jaguars. The Niners trying not to be wieners and lose yet another. And they've got a chance to stop the run, which they haven't been able to do lately. We'll do an early breakdown before we talk to Greg Papa at 8 a.m. We'll do an early breakdown next.
Friday night at the Golden One Center, it's the Kings' first ever in-season tournament game.
Sabonis heels at the arc. Now to Keegan Murray on a run by. He shoots for 3. He's got the triple. Keegan Murray from downtown.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are in town to face the Sacramento Kings for Friday Night Hoops.
The quest for the cup begins Friday on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast will start out cool. Not as chilly as yesterday morning, thanks to some cloud cover. We'll be seeing partly cloudy skies for today with highs reaching the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell, Retirement Security Centers with the weekly economic update. The knock more Americans are hearing at the door may be debt collectors looking to settle up. While the American consumer is keeping the economy running, some of the spending may be done on credit. Credit delinquencies 90 days or more are the highest they've been since 2011, but still below pre-pandemic levels. Americans 30 through 39 are those with the sharpest increases. Household debt increased to $17.29 trillion in the third quarter, with credit card balances totaling over $1 trillion in this amount. The delinquencies were more pronounced with millennials with auto loans and student debt. Another knock at your door could be your room service order, as Vegas casinos reached a tentative deal with employees, avoiding a walkout and strike for now. Labor costs have risen dramatically this year, as have strikes. Continued wage inflation could lead Fed members to keep raising rates until labor markets soften. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Despite being on their bye week, the 49ers had a good Week 9 with all other NFC West teams losing. The red and gold sit at 5-3 currently, regaining a hold of the top spot in the division with Seattle's loss to Baltimore. The 49ers will look to rally in Week 10, heading to Jacksonville for a road clash with the AFC South leaders. And after adding former number 2 overall pick Chase Young at the trade deadline, the squad feels rejuvenated to make a run into 2024.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, give you to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Law with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will still be without their all-star guard, De'Aaron Fox, who once again is out with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's Kings game starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. The San Francisco 49ers are back from their bye. They are on the road to face Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can listen to Sunday's game with pregame at 9 and kickoff scheduled for 10 on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
We were talking about gambling in sports. You mentioned the whatever that basketball game was. This is the Barstool guys calling it, so don't think it's not like Kirk Herbstreit or whatever. Not that he can call a basketball game, but this is what I'm talking about. It's just lame.
I need buckets to go in. I can't have buckets not go in right now. FAU practicing a little press. That's okay. Speed them up. Shoot it.
10 points needed for Big Top.
You need they're playing hard.
Pass it. Oh, no,
They're playing hard,
there.
but they're not fouling.
Foul. That was a foul.
Oh, nearly a
Over
back
and
court.
back.
See,
Foul.
this is
Foul.
what I meant.
Foul. Kickball. No.
Shot clock. 8 points in 61 seconds. Needed for Big
Shoot
Top.
it. Davis, shoot it.
John L. Davis right in front of our booth.
Listen, this is the NIL era. You go pad your stats, get deals.
Stat your pads.
Here we go. 1 minute to go.
It's done, Dan.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done. Now it's over.
It's over. Foul. That was a foul, ref.
They're even playing harder than I'd expect right now.
Call foul,
John L.
ref.
Davis.
It's a foul.
How's
They
that
won't
going the
call-
other way? Dan's
Big
across the
Top
headset.
slams his headset in from Sheldon
1-2
Edwards.
and 1-3. Oh, there's no time left.
There's no time.
Foul him.
Shot clock.
Foul him.
Shoot.
Foul him. Foul him.
You get the idea.
That sounds fun. What a broadcast.
I think that's honestly what sports talk radio hell is.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but broadcasts like that and Stephen A. and Skip Bayless takes.
Yeah.
The occasional Stephen A. Like that
Or
is
Skip.
Or Skip. Yeah, that is hell right there.
I've been big on like it's not that big a deal to be gambling at the game. Like it's on your phone and stuff like that. But if I'm sitting next to a guy like that, oh man,
Ruins the experience.
Yes.
And just to take the
It's
thought,
a 15-point game.
Right.
That's what's going on.
and he's yelling at players to foul and
And the
shoot.
ref,
and
that's
the
a foul.
ref, right?
I mean, just,
And look, sometimes you just don't want to. You just don't want to put it out there. But I think this is obvious enough. Like, to underline the point, it is not a matter of if. It is a matter of when. At best, a player or referee is assaulted.
Yeah.
At best,
Right.
assaulted. Able to walk away from it, you know what I'm saying? It is not if, it's when, Chris Verlaud, father of three, he's having a rough go at the job, and he's got a tip from a buddy, and he's got, I'll just use random teams here that aren't local. He's got the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors in a college football game against IUPUI.
Okay.
And he goes, you know what? I need this boost. I got to make ends meet.
Right.
And he, without his family's knowledge, decides to put a couple G's on the Warriors, winning by 3, and time's running out, and dude slides at the 1 yard line instead of scoring, and they win by 2. And Chris realizes he's lost the money. There's no way to get it back. His wife's going to leave him. His kids are going to disown him. They're going to be homeless, blah, blah, blah. He has a couple of beers to numb himself out a little bit. And as he drinks more and more, the depression turns to anger and frustration, and he decides to take it out on the poor kid that slid, or the coach that called for it, or whatever. And we're reading about it the next day that some kid was assaulted that did that, and then we find out that the guy who assaulted the student, the player, was the guy that lost a couple of grand on the game. And then we're going to have, then that will be the sports radio topic, and it'll filter out into Good Morning America and CNN and Fox and all the mainstreams. Or have we gone too far with it? And the sad thing is again, this isn't an if, it's a when. And someone is either going to get maimed or killed in order for this to be, in order for us to go, oh, well.
Yeah, to shed even bigger light on it.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought that it's a tragedy. They'll come up with some music and everything for the rejoiner, some soft synthesizer or whatever. Tragedy in Indiana. And everyone will be outraged. It's like, oh, wow. Are you shocked?
Right.
Interesting. Put a lot of babies in a room. Someone's going to poop in their diaper. What? No way. I can't believe that happened. Anyways, it's bad. It's going to get worse. And stay out of players' timelines with your dumb gambling complaints. Niners and Jaguars tonight.
I would say the disgusting way to think about it, it might be better for people to get that out of their system just on Twitter than actually in real life.
I mean, in that vacuum, you're 100% correct.
True. Like, they're both awful.
They're both awful, but there's certainly stages of awful, and you're 100% right. Look, just keep gambling out of the landscape is what I'm saying. The Niners take on the Jaguars. Niners favored by 3 in this one. I really like that line. See what I did there? I did.
Oh, great.
Come on, Brock. Come on, Brock. Throw that pass.
Yeah.
Over under's 45.5. That's too high. I will say, I think the cool thing about betting lines is I do enjoy seeing kind of where the populace is. So less than, the value or whatever. And when I see the Niners favored by 3, I go, well, a lot of people think what we think, which is the Niners have been playing possum. Chase Young's going to help. Steve Wilkes is down on the field now, and this defense is going to pop up.
What's interesting is, so the Niners are in currently a 3-game losing streak. Jacksonville's the hottest team in the league. It's in Jacksonville.
Yep.
And the Niners are favored by 3.
Yep.
So that tells you a little bit what people think about San Francisco, what they can be, what they maybe will be, even with the addition of Chase Young and getting Debo healthier and playing. So I'm anxious because it's been a while to see this team play. And the last time they played, honestly, I thought Cincinnati worked them.
Yes, they did.
And you can maybe even argue your way through the Cleveland game, maybe even the Minnesota game. Cincinnati beat them. So that's 3 in a row with a bye week. It's time to see this team become the team that they were at one point earlier this year, going towards the playoffs.
And they're on paper. I mean, not on paper because roster to roster, but to your point, Jacksonville's won 5 in a row. Jacksonville is 6-2. Jacksonville is at home. The 49ers have lost 3 in a row. Jacksonville not only should be fair. I mean, Jacksonville should win this game. They should win this game. For all intents and purposes, they should win this game. But obviously, on paper isn't in real life. It's not on the field. And we know Debo's going to play. We know Chase Young is going to start. It sounds like Trent Williams is trending. We'll ask Greg Papa, trending towards playing, which I think, honestly, of those 3 things is the biggest. Give me a choice between how do I rank it?
Right.
And I would probably, to be honest with you, say Trent Williams first, Debo second even, and Chase Young third, just because that defense is still very good on paper without Chase Young. They're just going to have to get to Trevor Lawrence. It's the bottom line, and they're going to have to stop Travis Etienne.
Who's having a good year.
He's having a very good year.
So, and this is a team that, made the playoffs a year ago, got confidence probably in that wild comeback they had against the Chargers in the postseason. I think Coach Peterson's very good. So, the Niners, they're going to earn this. This is a good team they're playing. So I'm anxious to see how they play on Sunday morning.
We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. What are you most locked into this weekend? And our first holiday question of the year. We'll get into all that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. We'll tell you more about Fire Wings after this segment, with 21 different flavors to choose from, as you may know, and maybe you didn't. Fire Wings. Just Wing It, Dave Richard. He will join us in about 15 minutes. Brendan Nunes at the top of the hour to talk Kings. He'll be in studio with us today. Well,
he sure will be.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's
And
good
then-
to have him a part of the team.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I saw on his Twitter yesterday, he was one of the many that posted pictures of maybe it was the day before, actually, of the Kings NBA Cup floor.
Yep.
And I believe the debut of those jerseys, too, tonight, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so very exciting, along with the basketball itself. Chris Verlot, question 1, please.
What sporting event are you looking forward to the most this weekend?
Niners Jaguars. I took a deep breath because this morning when I wrote the question, it was going to be the UFC, which should have been John Jones, Stipe Miocic. But Tom Aspinall is on the card. He's a big pride of England there, or that area over there. It's going to be rowdy and awesome. There's some good sports this weekend. Normally, the obvious answer for me would be Florida State, Miami, but I have to be fair. Look, if Florida State might end up losing, I'm going to be locked in, but I acknowledge that due to Miami not being too great this year, that's not a huge thing for a lot of people. I would say Jags Niners.
I think that's my answer, too. I mean, I'm looking forward to Kings tonight. There's a really good college football games this weekend. Michigan, Penn State, a few others out there, Ole Miss and Georgia. But I think it's the 49ers. Want to see how they play. Want to see. That's a good matchup going across country. Had some time to get better, see how Chase Young is implemented. Yeah, for me, it's the Niners and Jags as well.
Question 2.
Question 2.
Are you at all excited for the NBA Cup debut for the Kings tonight?
You're not.
No, I'm not.
Come on, get on board.
I mean, if it was like, are you curious? Like, yeah, I'm curious to see the court and the jerseys. Like, but there's no difference. Like, listen, if they had the Elam ending, if they had a 4-point circle, if there was something different in the game, if they had
courts and jerseys, not enough.
But no, courts and jerseys make me curious. But I'm like, oh my god, the jersey.
Yeah,
like,
and then playing for an additional a prize money as well. Not tonight.
But if I take away the courts and jersey, if it was regular court and regular jersey, and you didn't know, and it was just OKC versus Sacramento, and you took a tape of tonight's game against a tape of their game versus Portland, there's no difference.
Right?
They're just two games. It's just you added some color and flair, and I'm I'm curious as to what stuff looks like. But ultimately, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care about the stupid cup right now. I care about them winning this flipping ball game. And if
then that helps them in the cup.
And by proxy, if that helps them in the cup, that's great. But I'm more concerned with them not getting their asses kicked tonight, really.
I think this whole thing, obviously it's in its infancy. It's just starting. We're going to learn more about what hits for people, what doesn't. The thing that I look ahead to what potential traps could be. Here's one, Dave. And I don't want this to happen to the Kings, but we'll use a Kings example. There's 4 cup games guaranteed, right? You have 4 of these in your pool that you're playing all the other 4 teams.
Yes.
Let's paint a doom and gloom picture. Kings go 0-3. And the 4th game of the cup, I don't even know if this is possible
Denver.
if it's here. No, it's
okay.
They're out.
Yeah.
And it's another regular season game that you just want them to win, but like do the court and the jerseys all of a sudden you're like, I don't like the cup.
Yeah, cup's
and I don't
stupid.
want this jersey. And I don't want this floor because
Right.
they're 0-3 and I want them to. I mean, a win is a regular season win and the last one of it, and you win 1-3 and you're out of the cup. But it's like, I didn't like it. That's going to happen to somebody that's not going to win a game in the cup.
There's going to be one of each. There's going to be the team that's 0-3, and the stupid court and the stupid jerseys are trash and bad luck. And then there's going to be the team that's like 3-0.
Yeah, that maybe isn't a good team, and they're like, we love this.
Can we wear this jersey? Like, you got to bring it in here.
Yeah.
And do you get a special crown or is there a beam with glitter in it or something if you win a cup game?
Is the beam different?
Yeah, it's an NBA cup beam. Yeah. Maybe it's no, it's not a gold beam.
Can't be gold. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't know. Maybe it's a big holographic cup. Oh, how dope would that be, though? It's just a big holograph of this giant NBA cup rotating on the top of the.
We are just giving the Kings amazing ideas, and they haven't taken one of them.
I've said for years the Kings should have an employee. Yes. They should have an employee just dedicated to listening to the show and taking notes.
Yeah.
We would make them tens, if not 20s of dollars.
Yes, agreed.
Question 3, please.
Question 3.
Better holiday event, Thanksgiving football or Christmas basketball?
Oh, great question, Jason.
Yeah, thanks.
Giving. They're different. Like, I'm going to say Thanksgiving football because just everything surrounding it and all that. The problem is over the last few years, like, I'm in charge of Thanksgiving cooking, so I'm glancing at the football all day. Like,
Yeah.
I'm but it's still the feel of it, and you also still have Christmas to come. So if I had to pick one, I'd pick that. But there's something I get butterflies with Christmas basketball. It's
Really?
like, it's Christmas Day. You're with your family. The NBA is on. All is right with the world. Makes me feel good.
I feel like, well, over the years, I feel like it's Thanksgiving because that's been
Double gobble, folks.
I feel like it's been ingrained a lot longer. And I feel like the way Thanksgiving goes, at least in my house growing up, or even how we do it now, it's like the Lions are always on, right? You're not ready to eat yet, and so the Lions game is on.
Lions game.
And then
It's might be good this year.
And then maybe you eat, and then, oh, there's the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
And now they've added the third game. Well, this year the third game is the 49ers.
Right.
So that's suddenly intriguing. Now, it would be different maybe if the Kings were regulars on Christmas. They played twice on Christmas Day.
Sure.
But there's now 5 games on Christmas. I don't watch all 5. Like, there'll usually be that one that's like LeBron versus Kobe or Curry versus Durant. You know, it's like, okay, I'll probably watch that main one. And you maybe catch some of the others. But it feels like I probably watch more of the football.
I do like the 9 a.m. basketball
Basketball,
game.
You got it all day.
Yeah.
The other thing about the football games too, though, like, could they do this in basketball? Like, I know it wouldn't be where's like the slice of prime rib for the winner
Christmas?
of the NBA game? Yeah. You know, I know
Like
they have
the Madden turducken.
Yeah, the
was such a-
turducken. Yeah, there's got to be something there, like the candy cane. Candy cane's only, but whatever it may be. You know, also Niners, Baltimore
on Christmas as well. Niners have Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, leave out. Oh, that's right, they do. Niners in Seattle for Thanksgiving, and the Niners at home against the Ravens.
Christmas Day.
You know what would be funny is a bunch of people showed up at Levi Stadium. I don't know if Raven is good eating, but just show up there with some barbecued Raven. Just everybody's just gnawing.
Can't do that to a Raven.
I mean,
they'll, like, take your soul.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Did you know that the Baltimore is an Oriole?
There's also a Baltimore Raven? What? We'll take a break when we return. Oh, we can?
Yeah, we can go a little bit longer.
Oh, we can go 3 minutes longer. Remember in Christmas Story when he had his tongue on the pole? And when the kid froze his tongue to the pole outside and the bell rang and everybody went inside, and he was like, where are you going? He's like, the bell rung. I always think, like, when the third question's done, that's the bell rang. We got
double gobble, folks.
You like Christmas or Thanksgiving better? Not the games, just
Christmas.
The holiday.
Christmas. Yeah, I do. I mean,
you of a foodie. Thanksgiving's the best food eating holiday, isn't it?
I disagree. And let me explain.
It depends, I think.
It does depend. I'm talking about your classic, air quotes, stereotypical Thanksgiving. I am a believer that turkey is mostly trash. I'm not a fan of turkey. You have to
go at it.
Yes. And it's what's covered in what the turkey is covered in, and the sides that I enjoy. But I steal some of those sides. Like, I do a green bean casserole at Christmas as well.
Yeah.
I do a mashed potatoes at Christmas.
What's your meal at Christmas? The main entree.
The main entree. So we have a bunch of people usually eating, and they do have different tastes. So we do the main meal is the prime rib. But we also do a ham, and then what we've done lately, honestly, because of the Traeger outside, I have an extra place to put stuff. I wait until they have the super cheap, like, buy $30 at Winco and get a turkey for 12 cents. I buy 2 turkeys. And I do one at Thanksgiving, and then right around the time we've thrown out the last of the leftovers, I put another one on for Christmas.
So you call the turkey trash, yet you have it twice.
Not everybody thinks it's trash at my house. I think it's trash. I will tell you this: when we have the turkey and ham and prime rib, I eat the prime rib. I don't touch the ham or the turkey. But I will say this:
I would have the ham,
and you would have that. There's nothing wrong with that. I would say this, ham especially, but probably also turkey, more diverse leftovers than prime rib. I struggle every year with prime rib leftovers.
Yeah.
You have this beautiful, and of course you can cook it, but I cook it to a specific temperature. You throw it in the microwave or the oven or whatever. You've now taken from medium rare to medium. I've tried, thin slicing it, making like barbecue beef sandwiches. There's different things you can do, but it's not as ham, dude. You eat leftover ham all day, and then when you're almost done with the ham, throw it in a pot of water, and you get ham and bean soup, and you're eating on that for 7 years. A slight exaggeration. Can we break now? Because I'm going to go down this whole rabbit hole, if you will. It's 7:24. It's break time, right, Chris? Yeah? Okay. What are you looking at, dude?
I'm trying to get a clip real quick.
I was going to say, you're up to something. We'll take a break. When we come back, Dave Richards, CBS Sports Fantasy Football. Speaking of turkeys, that would be an interesting thing around Thanksgiving. I wonder if Fire Wings could take turkey wings and turn them into fire wings. Like, how would breaded Malaysian curry turkey wing do? Call them about that. There's turkey wings out there. I'm sure they'd be a little more. You're not getting 88-cent Turkey Wings Day Wednesdays probably, but I've never really been a turkey wing. Could you do a buffalo turkey wing? Peanut butter turkey wing? These are the questions that I need answered. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, letting you know it's Friday. I know you do that. Also, letting you know that you shouldn't cook tonight. In fact, I don't think I'm going to cook today. In fact, I know I'm not. That's right. We got to take my kid out to dinner. But normally, I would. It's Fire Wings time. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll change it up. What I mean, change it up is, maybe he wants to go to this one place and say, screw you, kid. We know it's your birthday, but we're going to Fire Wings. He goes, oh, my God, Fire Wings, yes, which, by the way, is my kid's favorite. Whose isn't? Yeah, all the 21 different flavors, any flavor you want, the seasoned fries, the garlic ramen. There's just so much you can eat there. It fills you up. And, oh, by the way, speaking of leftovers, leftover Fire Wings, it's fire, as the kids say. It's bomb, as the kids used to say. No cap, as probably nobody says anymore. Locally owned and operated. Go to firewings.com. Find the location nearest you. Tell them, would you? Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings, just wing it. When we come back, get your fantasy football questions ready. David Richard, CBS Sports, joins us next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
At Harbor Freight, we think you shouldn't have to break the bank to get great tools. Because we know that for some of you, tools are part of the job. And for others, they're just the beginning of making, fixing, restoring, and building. That's why we make high-quality tools that are priced affordably, because we love being the start of all your working, making, fixing, restoring, and building. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Over the last 5 years, there's been a 25% increase in reported hate crimes. A hate crime not only harms the victim, but strikes fear into their entire community. Our community. The FBI is committed to combating hate crime and seeking justice. We're here to help. If you have been a victim or witness to a hate crime, dial 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. Protecting our communities together. Dial 1-800-CALL-FBI to report hate crimes. Sponsored by the FBI. Aired by California Broadcasters.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now Now you're feeling it. Visit ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma, smart communications for the smarter business.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlod with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will be without all-star guard De'Aaron Fox once again, who is out with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's Kings game, starting with the game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. San Francisco 49ers are back from their bye. They are on the road to face Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can listen to Sunday's game with pregame at 9 and kickoff scheduled for 10, right here on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I had to. I mistimed Chris's update.
Yeah.
And I took too much bite of donut.
Yeah.
And I even tried the coffee wash down, but
didn't work.
I had a good another 30 seconds to chew.
Yeah.
So I had to
took option B.
I had to make an executive decision because from CBS, but it's not polite to do a radio show while you're chewing.
Yeah.
From CBS Sports, our good friend, usually. But not this weekend.
Special weekend, huh?
Special weekend. The one, the only, Dave Richard. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Listen, if you were going to a college football game in Tallahassee between your favorite team and my favorite team, then wouldn't that make you a fan of the crappiest college football program that pretty much always disappoints their fans and alumni in colossal fashion year after year after year?
Wow.
I didn't see it coming. I was waiting for the pun. And so I opened like Creed, my arms wide open for the pun.
Yeah. And
he kicked me right in the dingle. Oh, hey, yeah. Well, guess what? You great picks last week on the fantasy teams, Dave. I
know.
I got nothing. I got no response.
He stunned you.
Because he's right.
Yeah.
He knows that he's having fun, but he's poking the wound.
Yeah.
The scar that was a scab, that was a wound. And all week, I'm like, nobody is allowed to say wide or right anywhere in my presence. And it would just be so Miami-ish, so hurricane-y that Florida State's on their way to the playoff and they're undefeated and everything's great. Miami's, just playing for funsies. And it would just be so Miami to just beat us this weekend in front of our home crowd. Dave Richard Poop Mouth.
Yep.
Pretty much, yes.
Right. Yeah. How's everything else going, David?
Well, speaking of the Canes, I am also going to their home opener tonight for college basketball where they're raising their Final Four banner.
Nice.
Because I don't know if you know this, we were one win away from playing for the national championship in the NCAA tournament last year.
Oh,
on top of us going to Tallahassee and getting ready to shock the world, our basketball program is actually on the ascent.
And it's
Things
crazy.
are great.
Well, and it's crazy because considering all the success you guys had last year, you guys are still eligible. They haven't caught you yet for whatever cheating you did. So
we listen. We are the most honest college program ever. Like there's no cheating going on. Listen. We don't pay anybody under the table anymore. It's all fair game now. We're just backing up Brinks truck forms now.
I had it wrong. They were the Catholics?
They were the I was just going there, Jason. Jason and I were talking about this not that long ago, Dave, and it's funny, not ha-ha, but how things have changed. We had a conversation. We were like, can you believe that there was actually a game in college football one time between Notre Dame and Miami that was actually called Catholics versus Convicts, and they made shirts, and the announcers
and it was normalized.
It was normal. It was like, oh, it's Catholics versus Convicts. Hi, Brent Musburger, CBS,
Yeah.
and they went through. Like, can you imagine? Well, you can't imagine. That would never, ever happen. But, 20, 30 years ago, it was like, oh, Catholics versus Convicts. Anyways.
I don't know what they would call it. I mean, they played that game.
They call it Notre Dame versus Miami.
Yeah, all right. They were like, it's the University of Notre Dame versus the University of Miami.
And the funny thing
Go get
is,
them, fellows.
and Miami, and I don't mean this in a complimentary way, but it's going to sound complimentary. Like, Miami's not an easy school to get into, by the way. It's
not anymore.
No.
It was 25 years ago when I applied. They were like, Mr. Richard, do you know how to use a keyboard? And I was like, you mean like play like a song on the piano? They're like, no, like to type. I was like, yeah, kind of. They're like, you're in.
you start busting out Axel F on the keyboard, they put you in anyways. That's fine. What the hell's going on in fantasy football, Dave? This is, they say this is the period where championships are won and lost. There's free agents have been picked up, trades have been made, but as always, I imagine even at this late in the year, there's still got to be value somewhere out there in the quote unquote junk pile.
Sure, but the junk pile is really stinky.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. We are seeing some things and some trends just in the game itself, the National Football League, that makes it harder on fantasy managers. Scoring is down. Teams are diversifying their offenses. When they don't have a stud running back, they're using 3 guys. When they don't have a stud wide receiver, they're spreading it around. Arthur Smith does have stud running backs and stud wide receivers, and he's still spreading it around. And so it kind of devalues and waters down what the expectations are. I mean, we had a game last night. I hope you didn't watch any of it, Dave or Jason, because it was terrible. But Cole Kmet had been a monster in fantasy for the prior 2 games. He had 9.5 PPR fantasy points in that game. And that's actually going to end up being a pretty good week this week for tight ends. But no one starts a guy and says, man, I hope he gets me 9.5 fantasy points this week. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is always 15 if you're a running back or a wide receiver, 10 or so if you're a tight end, 22 or so if you're a quarterback. And the expectations have gone down. Scoring has gone down. It's getting harder and harder to find players, and players are getting hurt like crazy. It's getting harder and harder to find players off the waiver wire. I mean, the world went crazy for Keaton Mitchell, who played like 16 snaps, had a garbage time run, had another run for a touchdown. Before it was really garbage time, but it was kind of sort of garbage time. And everybody raced. They would fight with garbage can lids to get him off of waivers if they had to, because they're so desperate to find anybody who might be able to help them. So it's definitely a trash pile if your guys don't stay healthy or if your guys underperform. But I think the most important thing fantasy managers can do right now is kind of take account of what's happening. If you're 4-5 and you're nervous, or even if you're 3-6, go look at your standings. How many teams are 6-3? Probably not that many. So you're still in it. And the bye weeks are coming, and this is going to be a tough bye week for a lot of fantasy managers. And if you think this is bad, wait till you get to week 13. Plan ahead a little bit. And if you do that, you'll feel a lot better about it's taboo, Dave. We've talked about it for years. Why would you carry 2 defenses? Well, this might be the time to do it. Why would you carry 2 quarterbacks? Well, you should be doing it if your quarterback is on bye coming up, whether it's this week or 3 weeks from now. And so that type of preparation and that type of understanding that a bad record now doesn't mean you have a bad record later, unless you don't do anything to your fantasy team, and then you will have a bad record later. And that everybody's kind of going through it right now with their fantasy teams. You'll be fine. You just have to make sure that you're starting a lineup with guys that you're confident enough in starting, who are going to play a lot. And then when it comes to the waiver wire, you're hoping to pick up somebody, a player or two, try and stay ahead of the curve a little bit. And to that end, I have a sleeper.
Oh, who's that?
Ty Chandler, running back in Minnesota.
Oh.
We've seen Alexander Madison play inefficient football. Chandler figures to be the number 2 running back moving forward for the Vikings, and with Cam Akers on the shelf, obviously. And I wonder if he gets an opportunity to play 30% of the snaps as soon as this week and could evolve into being potentially a good running back in an offense that's going to look different with the Vikings changing so much with Josh Dobbs as their quarterback. And if Josh Dobbs isn't the poster child for this fantasy football season, I don't know who is, Guy was up and down in Arizona, gets traded to Minnesota, or up and down Arizona, gets traded to Minnesota. Yeah, I'm saying this right. And in Minnesota, without even knowing who he's throwing to, puts up 28 fantasy points in 3 quarters. Pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good. I'm curious about, I mean, it feels now, David, it's like more imperative to get it right than if the junk pile's thin and stinky, as you said, you want to make sure if you got 5 receivers, you got to play 3, you get the 3 right. I mean, that's the challenge of fantasy sports. But someone that may have been drafted by people was a guy like Kyler Murray that they had said, okay, I'm just going to hang on to him. I'm going to stash him. Well, now he's here. I don't know if this is the week to play him, but what do you think about his fantasy outlook for a team that's not very good, but how do you think he'll be fantasy-wise as the year goes on?
Well, there's no question he's going to be better than Clayton Tune was last week, and he should be better than how Josh Dobbs was when Dobbs was playing in Arizona. He's certainly a better thrower than Dobbs. But what we've come to really love about Kyler Murray is that he runs as well as throws well. And this is going to be a weaker receiving core that he's had before. Last year he had Hollywood Brown, he had DeAndre Hopkins, he had Zach Ertz. Now he's got Brown, but he's also got Trey McBride, who should have some good opportunities. And then there really isn't anybody else. And he's coming off the ACL, and so it makes me wonder, does he stay in the pocket more? Does he run a lot less? We saw him certainly make plays in the red zone with his legs. Does that come down a little bit? James Conner's coming back. And this is a different Cardinals offensive system than what he's run really since high school. And so I'm nervous to start Kyler Murray. I know some people are so excited they're going to have him as top 12 quarterback. He is playing Atlanta. They made Will Levis look like Ben Roethlisberger, and then they made Josh Dobbs look like Mike Vick. But outside of that, I can't think of a great reason to start Kyler Murray with confidence this week. I have him 15th, and I've got guys like Brock Purdy, Sam Howell. I have Geno Smith ranked ahead of him this week. I think those guys are a little bit safer and probably have more upside than Kyler.
What if you're like my friend Dan Bollinger, who thought he beat the bye by drafting both Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, and then found out this week when he was making his roster out that they both are on bye, and he picked up Kyler Murray. Is that okay?
Listen, I think it's great. Like, Kyler as a bye week replacement is fine, and I'm not even going to fault your friend. What's his name again?
Don.
Oh, it's changing.
Yeah, well, he goes by 2 names.
Oh.
Don Tankenberger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't want you to think it was me that did that.
He doesn't.
No. Listen, we all know it's definitely not you.
No.
Yeah, it's Dan.
Tom.
Listen, what Dan or Don, whatever we're calling him at this moment, has done is he's not only secured himself a good bye week replacement at quarterback, he didn't have to force his hand and trade one of these 2 great quarterbacks for lower value just because one of them is on a bye. So I would say that Sid is really smart for drafting both those quarterbacks and having the ingenuity to get Kyler Murray on his team. Yeah, Phil nailed this one. Good job.
Yeah, it's Dan, Don, Sid, Phil. Who are they rooting for? Miami or Florida State?
Oh, Florida State. All of them. They're good guys. No, they are. They're good.
No one roots for Miami, Jason. Come on.
Lastly,
convicts.
Lastly, for you, I know this is hard to say because depends on the size of the league, depends on the scoring system. We don't know who drafted who and who didn't. But if we're talking about players that in most leagues weren't drafted, is C.J. Stroud? Is he the current winner, or is he in contention for best free agent pickup of the year? Is there somebody else I'm completely forgetting?
It's going to come down to how C.J. Stroud finishes the season. If he can continue to have games like he did, forget about what he did last week, because that's not going to happen again. Earlier this year, when he was throwing 40-plus times a game, he was falling into 25 fantasy points. So if he can do that, if he can do that at Cincinnati this week, then yeah, he might end up being the guy that helps you as a league winner. I don't know how many leagues Adam Thielen was drafted in. Probably too many to say that he's one of those waiver wire heroes. But I don't remember Devon Achane getting drafted in a ton of leagues, and I'm expecting him to be a house of fire when he comes back for the Dolphins. They need to get that run game even higher amped up, and I think he'll be able to do that. And there's probably some names that here's the name, Dave. Kyron Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Literally on nobody's radar.
Yeah.
And he ended up being a stud for the Rams, and he will be back week 12. And I would imagine fantasy managers will be using him as a must-start when he comes back.
I'm looking at my other buddy, Tom Bellinger, Jerham's roster. And I just showed you this, Jason. His quarterback is C.J. Stroud, and one of his wide receivers, Adam Thielen. You know, anybody can draft and look at a stupid piece of paper, and look at a really well put together, filled with a lot of research piece of paper that guys like Dave Richard put together. Anybody can do that. But when you're picking up all-star free agents, that separates the Catholics from the whatever the thing, you know, the men, the thing.
Well said.
Thank you. Right, Dave?
I didn't think you had this many friends. Dan, Don.
It's growing every week.
We all have weird names, so we all hang out together. You know, I'm Carmichael. We just club. We have jackets, donuts. Where can people hear, watch, listen, see, and take in your lovely, lovely advice?
Go to YouTube and search for Fantasy Football Today. That's our podcast. We've already recorded it this morning. We do it every morning before everybody wakes up out there in NorCal. And we go through starts and sits. We did it today and yesterday. 2 videos ready to go to help you make your lineups perfect for week number 10. You can like and subscribe to the Fantasy Football Today podcast on YouTube.
Look at this. We had what is this, man? An hour and 14 minutes of content.
It's putting in some work.
Look at Dave's gray pullover there. He's got the glasses on, the top right corner right there. I don't know who these other 2 guys are. I'm sure they're fine, but look at our guy.
We're watching for Dave.
Yeah. No offense. Good stuff, dude. We're gonna hey, you know what? We're gonna put that on the Twitter and see if we can get you some likes and views.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We're here for you.
This is proof that world peace can be achieved, by the way. Because here we have a Florida State fanatic and a University of Miami alum getting along, talking friendly on the week of the game where if they were in person, they would be talking trash and maybe even like pushing each other.
Yeah, fisticuffs and all that.
I think we can lead this charge, Dave, of world peace. If we can do it now, then it can happen all over the universe.
You got to start somewhere.
Are you saying if I can change and you can change, maybe we all can change?
I think I'm saying that, yes.
Okay, well, I didn't say I did draw a little mustache on Dave Richard when his video, but that's a whole different ball game. Bad luck this weekend. Hope we trounce you. I have absolutely no good thoughts for you at all about the game, and we'll talk next Friday, and hopefully everything goes well for me.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I laughed when you said dingle.
Thank you. That's my guy, Dave Richard. Thanks, you,
Dave.
brother. Have a great weekend. We're way late for a break. Don't forget, Brandon Nunes coming up in 14 minutes to talk Sacramento Kings, which is what we will do next against Oklahoma City tonight. No Fox, no Lyles, no fun. Oh, we'll tell you why you can have some fun tonight next. He kicked me right in the dingle.
Looking to snap their 3-game losing streak. The San Francisco 49ers are back in action this Sunday on Sactown Sports.
McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
It's the 49ers and Jaguars from Jacksonville.
Sunday morning at 10 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me, I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a good feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a whole lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Daddy like?
Maybe you do. Welcome back in. Brendan Nunes joining us here in a few minutes. Kings basketball tonight. It is the first ever in-season tournament game in Sacramento Kings history.
Who cares?
What? You should care, Carmichael Dave.
Why?
You want this team to light the beam. You want this team to win. So, therefore, you care about the in-season tournament.
Maybe if there's a different beam. Like a cup beam.
I mean, I think this is a trick question because you want the Kings to win every in-season tournament game.
I do.
So, ergo, you care about the in-season tournament.
Yeah, you're not going to root against them ever.
No, but
if they lose, it's not. You're going to be like, oh, who cares?
No,
it's just an in-season tournament game.
But it's like, I care that my kids have a good day at school today.
Right.
I don't care extra about their lunch. I understand that the lunch can contribute to the day they're going to have, but I'm not like, oh my God, lunch, here we come. Like, it's just part of the, I want them to win every competition they're ever in, whether it's 82 games, a playoff, a cup, summer league. So
is it fair to say if this was Kings Thunder tonight as it is, without it being a tournament game, you would want the Kings to win?
Yes. And I want them to win
because it's a game in you don't care more.
I don't care anymore. You know, people say like, I couldn't care less.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it's never I could care less. It's a pet peeve. It's I have no ability to care any less about this thing than I do. I couldn't care more about the Kings winning.
Why couldn't it be I could care less?
Well,
I could care less.
But then that implies
that's not what they're trying to say.
Yeah, you're saying I actually care about this. Yeah. You know, I could care less, but I do care a little bit. I care as much about them winning tonight as I care about them if they played Oklahoma City in 2 weeks in a non-tournament game. I have an added little curiosity factor about the jerseys and the court, just seeing them, seeing how they show up on the screen. But, all night tonight, and by the way, this isn't a shot at NBC Sports or anyone covering this, but all night it's going to be, here's how the cup works, and here's a graphic on the cup, and
That's
here's
what it's been already.
I know, and it's
because a lot of people don't understand it and aren't sure. And
it's not a shot at them. They have to do that.
Yeah, much like we say, look, baseball doesn't explain things or doesn't promote.
Right.
The league goes out of its way. They're going to let you know what this is. Now, for me, on the one side, the uniforms in the court does zero for me. I mean, I'm not anti. I'm like, that's different. Okay, cool. But let's just play. I care about what's happening on the court. But I think you will surprisingly be into it if the Kings do well.
Well, no, and you've asked that before, and it's a great way to put it. Like, yes, if the Kings are playing in Vegas in the semis, trust me, this show we're gonna have like a special overlay.
We're going.
Abso-flippin-lutely we are. Like, we're gonna be all over it. But also, like, I care if the Kings beat the T-Wolves in China in preseason. Now, I'll care a little more about this, obviously, but I guess I'm just saying right now, I don't know. Right now, I'm the guy that's showing up at his kids' play, and it's like, I want them to do well, but it could suck. I don't know. Like, I'm here. Let's see what happens.
Okay, could it parallel this? Like, when the play-in started, it was first introduced, like, play-in, like, what, team 7, 8, 9? They'll play 9. What is this? And then, wait. Hey, the Kings have 33 wins. If they win their last 4, they could be the 10th seed. They could be in the, like, all of a sudden we're all in. Like, hey, they got a shot at the play-in, which means you got a shot at the playoffs. I think we all really cared then.
The fact of the matter is the play-in has added to the interest of the season and the interest of the league. There's no doubt about that. So, and that's the last game change we've had until the Cup. I would say the nuanced difference there is that the play-in has given more avenues to get into the playoffs to eventually try to win an NBA championship. So it still is on that,
to the biggest goal possible.
Right there. It's just another on-ramp onto NBA title freeway.
Yeah.
This is a whole new interstate that's parallel to that. And I don't, like I said, I'm not one of those, this is stupid, I hate it. I'm all for trying new stuff. Like, and kudos to the NBA for at least thinking outside the box and trying things. They are a progressive league, and I really do appreciate that about them. I'm not one of those guys with his arm crossed. I'm not one of the 2 old man Muppets from the balcony going, Rah! I'm not. I just, and I fully acknowledge, Jason, this is something I could be, I hope I'm 100% wrong about. And next year, fast forward 1 year from today, next November, you and I are talking, and you're like, remember last year when you didn't care? And I'm coming in at like all my NBA Kings Cup championship jerseys and stuff, and I'm like, it's Cup time, let's go. And you're like, I hope that.
I think that might be a few years away.
It might be a few years away, but I, as always, am hoping for any form of championship. We'll take a break. Brandon Nunes, not Nunes.
We'll see what he says.
Not Nunez. Brandon Nunes. Let's get Brendan Nunes. Let's get it. There's like 2 weird things about that name that are just tiny that you can get off. Brendan Nunes. Want everybody to get it right. He's going to join us. He's our Sactown Sports Sacramento Kings insider. We'll have a Kings roundtable next.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast will start out cool. Not as chilly as yesterday morning, thanks to some cloud cover. We'll be seeing partly cloudy skies for today with highs reaching the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and 0 down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Despite being on their bye week, the 49ers had a good week 9 with all other NFC West teams losing. The red and gold sit at 5-3 currently, regaining a hold of the top spot in the division with Seattle's loss to Baltimore. The 49ers will look to rally in week 10, heading to Jacksonville for a road clash with the AFC South leaders. And after adding former number 2 overall pick Chase Young at the trade deadline, the squad feels rejuvenated to make a run into 2024.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's going on at Hoblet this month, Chad?
We're celebrating the Black Friday sales event all month long, which means you're saving big with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. That means you get your new truck with no payments until 2024. And we have new Rams starting under $30,000.
That's probably why you're the number 1 Ram truck dealer in California and number 3 in the nation.
Well, that, and because we also have huge savings on heavy duties too, with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy-duty crew cabs. That means you can get the brand new heavy-duty truck you need starting at $45,995 and no payments until next year.
Well, there you go. Get your new truck now at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center or search Select and Save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$15,000 total net savings on $1,500 after $11,000 factory rebates and $4,000 dealer discount. 5 of this net savings. Under $30,000 VIN number 527379. $15,000 total net savings on $2,500 after $10,000 factory rebates and $5,000 dealer discount. 5 of this net savings. $45,995 VIN 502146. Rebates include $1,000 case construction bonus cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. No payments for 90 days through Chrysler Capital.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will be without All-Star guard De'Aaron Fox once again, who is out with the sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's Kings game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. The San Francisco 49ers are back from their bye. They are on the road to face Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can listen to Sunday's game with pregame at 9 and kickoff scheduled for 10, right here on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-11.
Place in the Eastern Conference. They're 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Celtics. no relation whatsoever, but I also wanted to throw out there the Los Angeles Clippers have lost 3 in a row. And I'm trying to think, like, why did that come into my head? Like, what? The Sixers are 6-1 and in first place in the East. And the Clippers have lost 3 in a row. They're now 3-4. They were 3-1. That's simple math. What is there's some thread there, and give me a day. I'll have it for you on Monday. Good morning, Brendan.
Morning.
Just
morning,
trying to wonder what that could possibly be. Also, here's a starting question for you. Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. Do we agree? Maybe we don't. Are the 2 best centers in the NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nobody else close.
Okay. Is there a fight right now for who the 3rd best center is? Between Domantas Sabonis and I think I'm ready to submit the name here. Alperen Şengün.
Ooh.
Too
early.
Alperen Şengün, who turned 21 in July, friends. And this is a Şengün hive here, by the way. 18.3 points, 8.3 rebounds, 6.6 assists for a Houston team that, dare I say, might be the big good surprise of the year. Is it time to start thinking of Alperen Şengün as a legitimate NBA star?
I don't know about star.
Oh,
I'm going to hold off on star.
Asteroid,
Maybe.
meteor.
Yeah. Comet's okay. I think that's passable. He does everything on offense. The playmaking's there, the scoring, the vision. Defensively, I think that he's looked better this year. Like, he just kind of has to find a way to survive on that end. He battled with Domas great. They just had that big win against the Lakers as well. So I think they're decent. I would probably put Anthony Davis 3rd for what it's worth.
Yeah, but you're right when he plays. That's the problem,
right.
though. He did something to his groin. I don't know what the hell it was. He's been out for whatever.
There's just so many tweeners too, right? Like Porzingis is playing center for the Celtics. He's off to a great start.
Where does Bam Adebayo fall?
Bam, Sabonis. I mean, there's just a lot of Ayton's honestly, I think, pretty good, but he just, there's a lot of good big men.
There's only one Şengün, though.
That's true.
There is. Alperen Şengün drafted 16th.
Could have been a King.
He could have, as Davion Mitchell drafted 9th. So the first question I have for you then is, based on that, is Monty McNair overrated, Brent?
Maybe.
It's the best.
Last year meant nothing.
Nothing.
That's what I've learned.
Lucky.
Nothing.
Do you care about the cup?
I am starting to.
Why? I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm honestly asking why.
Because I think from a competitive standpoint, like, you just want to win. Like, it's really just as simple as that. I don't really think that the money plays in here. I think that guys just will want to win, and that will be person to person. Like, we saw Steph go crazy after he won his first one, say one step closer to Vegas, make a big deal out of it. Domas was talking about how he loves it, similar to Europe, obviously, and he just wants to win. And it's the inaugural one.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be something that keeps up for a while. Be pretty cool to win the first one.
Yeah,
So,
I think the league will. I think they'll keep tweaking whatever's missing this year, and I think they won't know until they play it. And I said, there's a couple landmines I think that could happen, Brendan. As far as, let's take the Kings for example, and if they're 0-2, you're likely out. You can win the last 2. Maybe you're lucky you get in somehow, but the teams that lose the regular season games that are cup games will probably lose some interest. But I think the players, the buy-in to your point, I think they will compete, and I think they will want to be the first winners. And I think that's what the league is banking on, is the competition part of it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a downside. Like you just said, right? If you're out of it, you're out of it, whatever their normal games. If you're in it, then you get a little more juice. Yeah.
So facing Oklahoma City tonight, and obviously no Fox, no Trey Lyles. Let's talk first about Oklahoma City. 5-3. They are 3rd in their division. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I say Shai, not as a mistake, by the way. That's I think everybody still says Shai, but that's how he said his name's supposed to be pronounced. I'm trying to honor that. Is a superstar. Just straight up, he's a superstar. We talked about Dort, Jalen Williams, the youngster there. Chet Holmgren, who may or may not have a concave chest after facing off with Sabonis tonight. And the man with the best new nickname of the year, and a guy I already loved, the Slob Wizard, Josh Giddey. You've heard this, right?
Yes.
So slob is short for an NBA term, sideline out of bounds passes. So your entry pass is out of bounds, a slob. And Giddey has this knack for just being this insane inbounds passer. And I think, I don't know, it was Hollinger. Was it Hollinger picked up on it and called him the Slob Wizard. And that has 100% caught on. I love Josh Giddey. I think he is a future star as well. This is a well put together team. Bench is not a huge strength for them, but that starting five, especially without Fox, Brendan, it seems on paper is going to give this team fits.
They have a lot of size.
Yeah.
They've been great offensively to start this year. Obviously, Shai is a huge part of that, but they have just so much versatility. Giddey, his ability to bring the ball up the floor. I think Chet Holmgren gave Evan Mobley and Jared Allen a lot of problems in that last game. They're coming off what may be their biggest win of, early in the season, but against Cleveland. And, I think Sacramento's offense as a team that has struggled on that end, and you're going against a team with a good offense and maybe a lackluster defense, this is a good test. Yeah. You have to be able to keep up from Sacramento's perspective. No De'Aaron Fox. They have a lot of length. And how is Sacramento going to be able to respond? Like if Sabonis just tries to go through Chet, as you kind of alluded to, what's going to happen with everybody else? Are guys going to be able to knock down shots when they're getting helped off of? So I think it's going to be an offensive showdown. And with how Sacramento's played so far, that's maybe not the most optimistic thing, but they've got to start hitting shots eventually.
Yeah. Is it as simple as that? Because we saw the offense historically, the greatest one we'd seen in the NBA, and that number will probably change every year now going forward. But what do you see as to why, besides De'Aaron, it was struggling a little bit with De'Aaron? So why are they struggling so much offensively?
I think the shots will just fall. I really do think it's as simple as that. I think some of them are being forced a bit, but not more than typical, really. I think they're going to eventually go down. Keegan Murray set the rookie record, obviously, last year. Kevin Huerter made more threes than Keegan last year, but everybody focused on Keegan. Sure. Two great shooters there. Sure. Malik, shots will go down eventually. Even Malik in that last game, he was phenomenal. He didn't hit a three.
Didn't make one, yeah.
So I think those will go down eventually, but I think without De'Aaron, it's really the paint touches. It's getting to the paint, whether that means you're kicking out to shooters that, again, eventually will go down, you're finishing in there, or you're getting to the free throw line. And last game, they really did a good job of getting to the line when I think they'd really been getting the margin was not in their favor more often than not when it came to the charity stripe. So you missed De'Aaron. Like you're a 30 points difference with and without him. And of course that just happens to be his scoring total. So I think that's a big part, but eventually shots will go down. It's just about make sure you're consistently getting a foot in the paint each possession and keep the pace up.
Brendan Nunes with us, our Sactown Sports Sacramento Kings insider. Is there a conversation? We broached it yesterday, and obviously we are a big Kevin Huerter hive here on the show. He was our guy last year. Love him to death, but we have a job to do. Is there at some point, are we getting close to it, a time where Mike Brown has to look at switching he and Malik Monk in that starting rotation?
I don't think so. I think we would have saw that last game if Malik was going to be starting at all.
Right? I agree with you, but why? A lot of people want to know, well, hold on a second. Why don't you switch those guys up? Malik's so potent when he comes in off the bench. Why not give him 38, 40 minutes?
Yeah, and we asked Coach about this the other day, and his point was it's actually harder to replace that bench production than it is to replace that starting production because you have these four other starters around that can all fill that void and make it really easy for the guy that comes in to just fill that position and sort of blend in with the rest of the guys that are all cohesive and out there. So I think Malik is extremely important to that second unit. If, you started him, maybe you could just pull him early and sort of do some staggering like you do with Fox, but it keeps your rotation simple and it gives you a creator in that second unit that is so needed, especially without De'Aaron. You kind of have to have one of Malik or Domas on the floor at all times. Mm-hmm. I think it's easiest to manage that if you keep him coming off the bench.
What do you think about the switch he did make? I mean, that one, I think we thought something was coming. I did not see it being Keon as much as he praised him after the Rocky game. What'd you think of that?
I think it was rewarding guys for playing well. Coach is very big, and he says he got this from Steve Kerr of, I'm going to play the last guy on the rotation every once in a while, keep these guys engaged. And he did what they asked, or they did what he asked in that second Houston game. Keon Ellis, Alex Len, Kessler Edwards. He was very complimentary of them after the game and really disappointed clearly in everybody else. And I think it was less of like punishing Davion Mitchell and more of rewarding these guys, a sign of if you do what we asked, and maybe you're doing that more so than these other guys, we're going to give you an opportunity. No matter who you are, no matter where you sit in the rotation, you're on a two-way contract, a fully guaranteed contract, you're going to get an opportunity. And I thought they played well. And I also thought Davion played really well.
He really did.
And responded well to maybe a little bit of adversity there.
We talked about Kevin Huerter, but we do need to have a conversation about somebody else, I think. Harrison Barnes opened up the season with 33 points. Harrison Barnes in the 6 games since has scored 60. That's easy math there. That's a 10-point per game average. One of the bells a lot of us rang last year on the show and on the station is that Harrison Barnes led the team in defensive player of the game chains. He often had the toughest assignment and did a lot of things on the floor in addition to leadership and being a good guy and all the stuff we know Harrison brings. That really added to what little defense they had. There's some film floating around there. I'll credit who is it? A King's Film guy or whatever his name is.
King's Film Room.
Yeah, King's Film Room. Thank you for putting it out there. I was looking at some of the film he had out on Harrison Barnes, specifically on chasing screens. It's terrible. He is not in every game and not in every play, but his defense seems to have really, really lapsed for much of this year. We know that the 3 was thought to be kind of the weak spot, the one that would be most likely to be changed if Monty made a move this year. But is it really, are we getting near a point where we have to look at Harrison Barnes in that starting spot?
I don't think it's too different from last year.
Yeah.
I kind of thought there has been a gradual decline in him defensively, and I've kind of accepted. I feel like I've come to terms with who in my mind Harrison is, and that's a guy that you like him when you're not relying on him. When his production is just added bonus, then I think he's a great guy, a great player, like a 5th starter. I think that's a fine role for him. I think the issue was more so, a couple of years ago when you're relying on him to be the number 3 guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I don't know that he can do it every single night. He's going to have those 33 balls, and then he's going to have a night where he has 3 points, So I think it's just sort of what are your expectations for Harrison, and it changes this conversation. And I've come to accept whatever you get from him. Great. I'm not exactly relying on too much production, but just to not make too many mistakes, right? That's what he's always done.
But is that what can a contending team afford to have a guy in their starting lineup? And it's tough with Harrison, like it's tough with Kevin Herter. And that's where personally I have to remind myself to do my damn job, because I love Harrison Barnes. I've said before, if he was a religion, I would go to church every Sunday. I want him to do well. I love this man, and I respect the other players, coaches. They're not all saying the same thing, being mistaken. They all say, this is the glue of our team. This is the guy we look to. And I acknowledge there are times when the Kings are getting beat up and down the floor. He's the guy that draws the foul. He's the guy that does the super important stuff. But God, can we afford to have somebody in the starting lineup that, your words, and I don't disagree with them, that, well, we don't really need to, we don't expect too much out of him, and we got to be happy with what we get. Is that someone worthy of a starting spot?
I think he's okay for a 5th starter.
Okay.
But he's probably, Keegan and Kevin have been disappointing to start this year, right? I think Kevin has turned it around after a pretty slow start, rebounding, shooting recently. But I think he's fine when he's your 5th guy.
Right.
You just need the other 4 to have, you really need 3 reliable productions.
Sure.
And right now you have 2, and one of them's not playing.
Yep.
Right. So I think when Harrison's your 5th, it's fine. But who are the other 3?
Yeah.
So you mentioned the message maybe the other day of rewarding Keon, rewarding Alex Len, rewarding Kessler Edwards. Flip side, we didn't see JaVale McGee, though he was at press row ready to check in. Then they switched to Alex Len, and then JaVale never played.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and we didn't see Sasha.
Yeah.
We read anything into that, or is that a one-game thing? Because those other guys, they played every game besides that.
Yeah, I think the Sasha thing, that one to me, I don't really know for either one of these, to be honest. Like, I haven't been the biggest fan of JaVale. Like, he had good moments, yeah. And just recent years, not his entire career or anything, but maybe it's just the blunders. I roll my eyes harder than most, I guess, because he does good things in the pick and roll. The pick and roll game with Malik is really the plus, right? Yeah. But it's the playmaking that I'm like, gosh, what's going on here? Or like, the tip out to LeBron, and it's just little things like this.
Makes Buddy Hield look like a ball handler.
Yeah, it's yeah. And so personally, I have kind of thought maybe Alex is a better option. And so that one, I would try to see if you can stick with it. And Sasha, if you're a team that is trying to be more physical defensively, and that's something that you are emphasizing more than anything, and obviously you want to keep your offensive identity and strength there, Kessler fits that so much more than Sasha, and I think when Trey Lyles comes back, this isn't even a conversation. And I don't think Trey Lyles not being available is being talked about enough in the course of this conversation for what it's worth.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, I think that you could stick with those. It, I guess, worked. Like, I don't know. You didn't play great defense against the Blazers, to be honest. That was the worst offense in the league coming in.
Right.
And they put up 118, albeit overtime.
We brought in Sasha for one reason, and that was to shoot threes, to hit the outside shot. He's shooting 27% from beyond the arc, and I don't know that he offers really much else. I wonder if it's a situation where maybe Mike Brown had different plans to bring him along, but you've got to shift on the fly. And in this case, they don't have time to baby Sasha, which is unfortunate for him, to your point, because when Trey Lyles comes back, that minutes pool shrinks up real quick.
Yeah. And maybe Trey will be the 5 and maybe Sasha will be out there with him. I don't know how that defensive lineup would sort of work, but I also think that this is like a fine trajectory for Sasha. They signed him to a 3-year deal. He never came in and expected to, at least from what he sort of has said publicly, it never seemed like he came in and was expecting to just set the league on fire. You know, this is going to be a slow process. This is the 4th time in his 13-year career, albeit first time in the NBA, that he's moved to a different team, accepted a lesser role, and then slowly worked his way up. So I think Sasha, it's going to be a process. Yeah. And I think that's fine. Even though he's 28, there's adjustments.
Have you heard any intel on the possible return for Lyles and or Fox?
No, Lyles, calves are just tricky. The way that the Achilles really just relies on that. I think they're playing that extremely safe. And for De'Aaron, he obviously wants to play. And, take that for what it's worth. I'm sure everybody wants to play. Trey wants to play, right? But you just play it safe. Like he had that grade 3 ankle sprain. What is it, 2019? And he came back a little too soon. And there's been lingering stuff since, when Tyrese got traded, De'Aaron sort of held out for a while and claimed it was his ankle. There was this whole weird thing, and who knows if it was actually a thing or not, but that could have been just lingering stuff from when he came back too early. Like, he is a competitor, right? Yep. So you almost have to protect him from himself sometimes. And I think it's just until you are 110%, we don't want you at 99.9. We're not risking anything. We are 7 games in here. Right. So I think it's just being careful.
It's our Friday Kings Roundtable with Kings insider Brendan Nunes. You can check him out at SactownSports.com. And, of course, follow him on Twitter. You mentioned Cavs being tricky. And I'm curious as to which you think is a tougher matchup for the Kings, speaking of Cavs being tricky. Cleveland on Monday or Oklahoma City tonight. I was waiting the whole time for that. That's where I was going.
That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
I will go with Cleveland. I think it gave them some issues last year. And I mentioned that, OKC has good size, but I think Cleveland is like stronger with their size as well and more physical. And I think that we've seen Sacramento be affected by that throughout the course of this year. I thought Houston really bullied them was one of the big things. Yeah. So I'll go Cleveland. I think both matchups are pretty tough. I think OKC is a more important matchup because it's just a Western Conference opponent. Everything's going to be close. Sure. Underrated aspect of losing twice to Houston. Like, what if you come down to a tiebreaker? Yeah. Yeah. So, and you already lost 2 to Golden State of the season series. So, I think OKC is more important, but I would say Cleveland is a little bit of a tougher matchup.
Yeah, it was one of the things I thought, again, all of us do this stuff before the season, try to project what's it going to look like. And I think too many people, I myself was guilty of it, put maybe the Spurs, Blazers, and Rockets as teams we could probably dismiss, which is right now, and it could still play that way, but it seems a little bit unfair. But I thought, what might work is how many teams lose multiple times to the Spurs, to the Rockets, to the Blazers. And early on, here's the Spurs beating the Suns twice. Well, the Rockets have beaten the Kings twice, already beaten the Lakers. And after an 0-3 start, they haven't lost since. So, you've got to let it develop. But I think the West is falling in line. What we thought it would be is really difficult.
It changes really fast, though. Yeah. Remember, beginning of last year, Portland was sitting at the top for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and then New Orleans after that for a while.
Right. Yep. Utah was playing great. They all those teams came back down to earth. So it changes fast. Like, a lot of fans felt horrible after that Houston game, and you feel okay after Portland. If they take care of business against OKC, that's way in the rear view by now. Yeah. It changes so fast.
Well, speaking of that, as we wrap up, the Kings are underdogs at home tonight by 1.5 points against Oklahoma City. They lose tonight. That's not going to change against Cleveland. In fact, that could get worse, and not to scare Kings fans, but looking ahead, after that Cleveland game Monday, they go on the road for a 6-game road trip. Lakers
win.
Spurs
win.
Mavs
win.
New Orleans twice.
2 wins.
Minnesota
30-point win.
Then they come home. Golden State, the Clippers, the Nuggets.
And De'Aaron will be back for the Nuggets game.
Yeah.
Boy. All right.
Still have Harden, right?
That's what it was.
I figured it out. It took me a
That's
little
what
bit of time.
they have their 0-3 with James
Yeah.
Harden. They were 3-1 without, and Philly's 6-1, including a win over the Clippers.
I was thinking PJ Tucker.
And Harden's such a winner too.
I got to ask Brendan one thing.
Oh, please.
Dave really loves Ben Simmons. If he were a King, what would he be looking like right now?
I really liked Ben Simmons too.
That's what I'm talking about. Put him at the 3.
I didn't mean I wanted to ask that.
I don't know that I love the fit anymore.
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah,
Don't fight it.
talking about.
Don't fight it.
Yeah.
Don't fight it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many more? No offense to Harrison Barnes. Okay. No offense to Harrison Barnes.
This is offensive.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
How many more wins with Simmons at the 3 as opposed to Barnes? 20 or 30? I'm just asking.
Less.
Total wins?
Really? No, yeah. I mean, we're talking you
See what
rebound.
he did last game, Ben Simmons?
Was that the one he missed? Oh, last
Yeah.
night. Oh, the one he missed. Oh, I get because he
What? What was going on?
How many games Harrison Barnes played last year?
All of them. Dave.
Yes.
You said no disrespect.
None. Zero disrespect. Here's the thing about Ben Simmons.
What is the thing?
When he's on the floor,
Yeah.
he's a difference maker.
Is he?
For both teams.
What I mean by that is, come on, 10.8 boards, 6.7 assists. Look at that seal. Oh, Ben Simmons can't shoot. 53%
He is
from the field.
53%. He's
6.5
3 of 5
points a game.
Whatever.
Guards 4 positions, maybe 5.
Any of them well?
6.
No, he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't.
Defensively is where he's really.
Yeah.
Do you think that, I mean, just as we go, since you brought it up, not me, do you think there's, at this point, is it just contract value? Like, do you have to give something up for Ben Simmons at this point? Do you think for Brooklyn, or is it just match the contract, get us out from this year and next year, and we're good?
Oh, I don't know that they're upset with him, are they?
I don't think they are at
No, I
all.
don't
I'm
think
just
they
wondering
are.
if they have the
Oh,
opportunity.
they probably would want a haul, I would bet.
Do you think so?
I think.
Yeah, I think if it's the point where other teams are viewing it as like, all right, we're just going to give you matching salary, they just hold on to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
play him.
wait. Maybe rework his value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attempt to.
Let's bring that up for.
You're just man crush.
Everything's all ironed.
I was guilty of saying I would trade Tyrese for Simmons at the time. Not my greatest.
I'm
take.
the one that said it was a it was a mark on the front office every day. They didn't trade De'Aaron Fox at that deadline. I always just should have said if they don't trade one of the guards. That's where I got screwed on it. They ended up trading Halliburton. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Didn't you? If I told you they're going to trade Halliburton or Fox at the deadline for DeMontis Sabonis, you're not telling me you think it's Fox?
I very easily would have said Fox. Very easily.
Thank you. So I was right. Read Brendan on Twitter at sactownsports.com. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we got 4 Down territory. Don't forget Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners, coming up at 9 a.m. The key for the Kings tonight, we all agree, is going to be against a young, fast Oklahoma City team. It's going to be energy. And what better way to gather that energy than hitting my friends at American Energy Heating and Air? Good morning, everybody. Carmichael Dave. Brendan, you can, you can. You don't have to stick around for you already know. Everyone knows. When we're talking energy, we're talking American Energy. Been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. Do they have a B+ with the Better Business Bureau? No. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Yeah, there's a difference, pal. Right now, they're doing their $49 tune-up. That's where they come into your house and they check your filters, check your heater, your air conditioning, all that stuff, and make sure it's running solid for the entire winter and summer months. Well, why is that important? Because you can save money and make sure that you're not leading yourself into a breakdown of a very what can be a very expensive repair. But also think about it all summer long, all the pollen, all the dog hair, all the cat hair, mouse hair. I don't know what kind of pets you have. All the hair, all that stuff's been stopped by your filters. When was the last time you changed your filters? $49 to get them to come. I mean, that's seriously $49. That's a dinner for 2 at the local taqueria by my house. And you can get your ducks checked out by a company that knows what the heck they're doing. So give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990, AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell Carmichael Dave sent you. 4 Down territory next.
Looking to snap their 3-game losing streak. The San Francisco 49ers are back in action this Sunday on Sactown Sports.
McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5,
Touchdown! CMC!
It's the 49ers and Jaguars from Jacksonville.
Sunday morning at 10 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
Guys, your testosterone level can impact your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Book your testosterone level check at Revive Men's Health, Sacramento. They're the local experts with guaranteed treatment for low T and ED. There are no lab fees, and all your tests are included when you start treatment. And many patients find Revive more affordable than their insurance deductibles and copays. Book your testosterone level check today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Football season is here, and when you're cheering on your favorite team, make sure you're stocked up on Redbird Farms chicken. Redbird Farms chicken brings game-changing flavor to your tailgate or watch party. With no additives, preservatives, or hormones, Redbird Farms chicken is what real chicken tastes like. From juicy chicken burgers and tender party wings to flavorful chicken breasts, every bite is a touchdown of taste. Find Redbird Farms chicken at your local Save Mart and Lucky, California.
Grill it, fry it, put it in parm. As long as you make it Redbird Farms.
Friday night at the Golden One Center, it's the Kings' first ever in-season tournament game.
Sabonis heels at the arc. Now to Keegan Murray on a run by. He shoots for three. He's got the triple. Keegan Murray from downtown.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are in town to face the Sacramento Kings for Friday Night Hoops.
The quest for the cup begins Friday on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will still be without their all-star guard De'Aaron Fox once again, who is out with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's Kings game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. San Francisco 49ers are back from their bye. They are on the road to face Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can listen to Sunday's game with pregame at 9 and kickoff scheduled for 10, right here on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Light the beam.
Light the beam.
Light it tonight. Thanks to Brendan Nunes, Sactown Sports Insider. Also, a couple notes real quick before we get to 4 down territory. Number one, Alan Stiles brought in the good gummy bears.
Yes.
To
the best.
The best. What is it, Haribo?
I don't know, but he wanted to contribute to the pantry.
Wanted to contribute to the KHTK pantry over here, or Sactown Sports Pantry, excuse me. They're still not open.
Yeah, I feel like the person that brings it in should open it.
I agree. Like, we're going to see if they'll open them on Crosstalk. Like, I'm a gummy bear fiend, and I haven't opened them yet. And that's tough for me.
We were both talking yesterday that both of us were just staring at it, I'm like, Dave, just open them up.
Just mouths watering. Yeah, and he's trying to get me to open them up. And probably a dumb decision for me not to. And speaking of really dumb decisions.
I think that's like in our brains as like cavemen. You need to see someone else eat it before you eat it.
You brought back the woolly mammoth. You get to eat the first bite. Hey, Nate.
Hey, I don't know why I'm here.
I heard something the other day. I just wanted to verify it. And I talked about you for a little bit on the show yesterday because you're a filmmaker.
Oh, yeah.
And what I had said is filmmakers are like musicians, are like artists, or chefs and all that. You know, you all like the weird things. Yeah. You aren't a fan of the beam?
No, I'm not a fan of the beam. I just kind of thought it was more of a, you always talking about like the capitalist approach on the beam. Like you can't get rid of it because it's so valuable from like a money standpoint, like the shirts and all the gear, all that stuff. Like now the chain's gone. Now they got a crown. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I was kind of a fan of the beam was a 1 year thing, but I knew that was never going to happen. I'm not anti-beam at all. It's just
you're anti-capitalist.
I kind of like when is it going to end?
Why should it end?
It doesn't have to. It's just everything kind of like it's just going to fizzle out one day.
Why?
But we're not there.
But why?
Everything does. Life fizzles out.
Life fizzles out.
Wow.
Yeah, that got Kyle Shannon.
Well, what about the Cubs W flag?
He doesn't have headphones. So yeah, what about the Cubs W flag? The win. They do that all the time. What about songs that teams sing traditionally? We're talking about a 1 year tradition. Traditions don't. Unless they're problematic. I don't think the Purple Beam Union's ever going to get mad at us for exploiting it. So why would we possibly end the beam? Do you hate fun?
A little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of it.
A little bit. It's fun to hate fun.
People love the beam.
Well,
why are we always having this conversation from the gold jersey crowd? Why do we seem to always have this conversation about I think it's contrarianism is what I think. Because logically you don't really have a point to stand on. Like what is it harming?
Nothing. Here I think is my issue. I think the beam, I don't like when the beam is weaponized against us.
I don't know what
I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I think that's where
when the Warriors put up a yellow beam.
Yeah, or I think the Sixers did it last year to us.
Yes.
And it's like
flattery is the sincerest form of imitation.
I guess that toughens you up. I think that's probably where deep down inside of me my issue stems from.
So you don't want to be you don't want any vulnerabilities, and you feel like the beam makes us vulnerable to beam imitators and making funners.
Yeah. You know what? I will say they did a great job this year of listen, first of all, I'm talking like I'm anti-beam. I feel like you're spinning it on me.
It sounds like you hate the beam and children. And you are a Laker fan. That's what I'm hearing. Right. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Do I look like a meal?
No, but with that mustache, you look like a snack. You know what I'm saying? With the
meal.
I'll take that one.
Oh, a meal.
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's horrible. Every time I just forget to shave. This is the second time I've been harassed about this.
I thought when you first came in that you drank some chocolate milk with that donut and had a little.
I wish. That sounds good.
Right. Thank you, Nate.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
That's it.
I know you had another thought, but
he was on the horn.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah, I got
for that territory. We're trying to do a show, guy. Thanks.
My bad.
Thanks for everything. That's Nathan Littlefield, everybody. Check out Bubbles.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Please check out Bubbles.
Please check out Bubbles.
It's worth your time.
Christopher Lloyd, 4 down territory.
4 down.
Who is your favorite Bubbles character? Oh, wait, that's not it. What is your lock of the week in the NFL?
The Jaguars over the Niners.
Don't do this. You're doing this.
We need it. It worked for the Kings. Yeah. They're gonna. I mean, this. I can't even. This should be my upset of the week too. But right now the Jags are 3-point underdogs at home. They're 6-2. The Niners are 5-3. They've won 5. They're the hottest team literally in the NFL. There's steamrollers and there's the Jaguars, and the Niners are going to come back home flat as a pancake. 42-10.
There's a spread that's 17 points, and you're not taking that as your lock of the week. That's the Cowboys over the Giants. But I'm not taking that as my lock of the week either.
No.
I'm going to Monday night. The Bills at home. They need the win. They're taking on the Broncos. I'm going to take the Bills as my lock of the week.
You're asking me to pick against a team that has
Danny DeVito
at quarterback, exactly, who can throw a ball at least 5 yards.
Over that mountain.
Over that mountain.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, second down there, guy.
What is your upset of the week in the NFL?
I mean, according to the lines, this is an upset, but I don't know that it would feel like a crazy upset. The Ravens are favored by 6.5 over the Browns. I certainly wouldn't pick the Browns to win straight up, but this seems a little. Look, if the Browns, if the Browns can neutralize Lamar Jackson, they're going to win this ball game. And if there's a team out there that has a defense that can neutralize Lamar Jackson, it's the Cleveland Browns. They are just incredibly fast on the outside. They can stop the run. They have very few weaknesses. This just seems like a game, perhaps they can go into Baltimore. It's a rivalry game and take these guys out.
Okay. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers.
What?
At home, underdog by 3 to the Lions.
Yeah, I looked at that too.
I think that one's got some potential there for the Chargers.
That's probably the right pick.
There we go.
Third down, please.
Which NFL game would you most like to attend this week?
I don't know. Nice. Okay. No, Niners Jags. These next two answers are going to be really simple. Of course, I want to see Niners Jags. You're in sunny Florida, whatever. You're in Jacksonville. The amount of things to do in Duval County, it's just ridiculous. It's like how far is Jacksonville from Orlando, by the way? I've never been to Disney World.
I don't know. Disney World's fun.
Yeah, I've never been, so maybe we do that. And
it was okay.
And of course, I'd love to see my Niners. So give me Jacksonville and San Francisco.
Okay, that's a great answer. I like that answer. I'll pick a different one. I'm going to take old Browns versus new Browns. The Browns-Ravens game you talked about. A rivalry, what it means for that division, the intensity. Yeah, I'd like to be in Baltimore for the Ravens and Browns.
I don't forget, but they used to be the Ravens and the Browns.
Yeah,
they were
old Browns, new Browns.
Yeah, exactly. Fourth down, please.
Which college game would you most like to attend this week?
Disney World's just 2 hours.
Oh, easy drive.
See, I could have taken my dad out there.
Yep.
Could have ridden the whatever ride they have out there. They have Pirates of the Caribbean in Disney World.
Yeah, it's real pirates.
Wow. Because it's near the. It's actually near the Caribbean. What if it's better? Is Pirates of the Caribbean near the Caribbean? Yes. If it's in Disney World. I do wonder about that. What college game? Florida State, Miami, Tallahassee, rivalry game. Florida State.
Dave Richard.
Me and Dave Richard. The Seminoles are favored by 14. Throw that sucker out the window. They might trounce them. They might beat them, but we have seen too many times over the years when it's these two teams throwing a Florida State game. I grew up knowing this, man. There is just that we've had our hearts broken. I say I'm on the team so many times by the Hurricanes. I'll say the same thing I always say when it's a Florida State Miami game. Please, for the love of God, don't come down to a kick. That's all. Just don't. If we lose, we lose. Just please don't come down to a kick. So
Protect the kickers.
Protect the kickers. Yeah.
I've got 2 games listed here. One for a different reason. USC at Oregon. No interest in seeing USC, but I think I might like the results of that game in Autzen Stadium. The one, though, I think Michigan Penn State. Great game. 2 top 10 teams in Happy Valley. I'd go dressed as like 85 probably other people. Connor Stallions.
Yeah.
Just to,
some
to tweak
binoculars.
them a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I think that game will be great. Michigan.
Connor Stallions, great Halloween costume too,
Awesome.
out there in the old Midwest.
Yep.
And I'm not looking at every single matchup, and of course there's SEC matchups and all that. But
Georgia.
But when you look at like Penn State, Michigan, even Ohio State and Columbus versus Michigan State, like aren't those are just like those just November. It just screams college football.
Absolutely.
Like, no offense to the West, no offense to the SEC in the South, but to me, if you're talking about the prototypical classic college football environment, it's Midwest, northern Midwest, little bit of weather, maybe some fall crisp in the air.
Sure.
That to me is the ultimate college football, and you got a couple of those matchups today. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot? Who's not? 3 in the key for tonight's in-season tournament debut. And how about a pick 6, Jason, for the Niners and Jaguars? And then we'll have Greg Papa kicking off the final hour of the week at 9 a.m. on your home of the 49ers and your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of financing options and get free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals for huge savings today.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTRCM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's the first ever Elk Grove Kia Frozen Turkey Bowling Extravaganza on November 18th, 2023 from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. That's right, a frozen turkey becomes the bowling ball, and 10 liquid-filled plastic beverage bottles are your pins. It's not just bowling, it's an adventure. Knock down those pins. Each pin has a number attached to it, which means your skills can lead you to awesome prizes. And guess what? Each person gets 2 rolls, so you can aim for perfection. Now, how can you be part of this amazing event? Simple. Register at Elk Grove Kia for one of the 8 coveted spots through a raffle. But hurry, the registration deadline is November 17th, 2023 at 6 p.m. sharp. And here's the best part. No purchase is necessary. That's right. It's all about the fun and games. So make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall today for a chance to win a spot at the inaugural Elk Grove Kia Turkey Bowl. Rules and regulations at elkgrovekia.com.
Elk Grove Kia.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out, Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who's hot?
Iowa's Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another 40-point game.
Last night, her stat line was 44 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in Iowa's win over Virginia Tech. This is her third 40.5 rebound, 5 assists game. To put that in perspective, not one college basketball player, male or female, has had one in the past 25 years.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Also, signed a kid's jersey last night. There was a video of that out there. Made his day. This little boy wearing a Caitlin Clark jersey. She said, hey, nice jersey. Came over and signed it. She got next, as they say.
Yep.
This is going to be fun to follow her career and eventual ascension into the pros. She is absolutely on fire. Who's not?
The Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, I know. We were just talking about that during the break.
I mean, the big talk of the NHL season was the Sharks almost getting the worst start in NHL history.
Almost.
Sharks have won 2 in a row.
Yeah,
the only other team with a record almost as bad as the Sharks, the Oilers, who have now lost 4 in a row, including to the worst team in the NHL, the San Jose Sharks.
Come a long way from Wayne Gretzky and Grant Fuhr and Mark Messier and other guys.
Jean Lafleur.
Yeah.
In Houston with Earl Campbell, those Oilers.
Right? Yeah. Wrong Oilers.
Oh.
Edmonton.
Okay.
Edmonton. Is it Edmonton?
Edmonton.
Oh.
Is it?
Edmonton?
Minton.
That actually sounds right, like Greg Minton.
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Like badminton.
Edmonton. The Oilers.
Yes.
You ever spend any time at all and think about what it would be like just if our moms and dads made a different decision and we were like born in Moose Jaw, Canada, and grew up like in heavy snow and hockey, and like there's real people up there and those are their lives. Like I live in Edmonton and we play hockey and speak French maybe, and
I don't think so.
No,
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time thinking about that.
Like what a whole different. The year I spent in St. Paul, Minnesota, I'll never forget how every school here has like a basketball court and a soccer field. Every school there has our little apartment was right across the street from a school. They got a hockey rink. These kids are just out there on the weekends playing hockey with each other, having a blast, bringing thermoses, a cocoa or whatever the hell they had. And snow days. It's a snow day and you leave your house and all the other kids on the street are tobogganing up and down and having snowball fights and dressing like Ralphie in A Christmas Story. That's a life we never had. And I know people are out there and they're like, I grew up in that. You've never had to shovel ice off your car windshield with a CD jewel case at 5 a.m. when it's dark outside and your extremities are numb. Well, okay, granted, I'm not saying I want to do that full time, but I just feel like you're a different person if you were raised that way.
You've spent a lot of time thinking about that.
I've spent way too much time thinking. Like, we're going to try to go up the hill this year with the kids and have our first ever white Christmas.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, every year's white Christmas, but you get my point. Like, we're going to go up with the snow and,
yeah, for sure,
slip around.
Right.
You were talking about what they might drink and like instead of hot cocoa, maybe they drink something else. Have you had a chance of having, I think it's Bovril in the UK?
Bovril?
Bovril?
Bovril? No.
So when it gets cold, they serve, it's like they call it beef tea, but it's basically beef broth.
Okay, first off, beef tea sounds disgusting. Beef tea it's like what cows give milk out of, right? Like that doesn't sound good. they're beef teas, but or what Pat McAfee wears every day, the beef tea. But I'm not gonna lie, I, every once in a while, especially if I feel like I'm starting getting a sore throat. Why would I lie about this? By the way, I'll have some. Maybe I have a little one of those. I have those little
bouillon cubes.
Yeah, a little bouillon cube. Put it in 2 minutes in a mug, and if I don't have chicken, there's beef. I'll have but calling it beef tea just that makes me think there's like a tea bag with like beef parts in it. And you just pour it over hot water, and you're sitting there steeping beef parts in your tea. That's disgusting. I thought you were going to say it was like a type of alcohol, like beef beer.
It's rare that it's not alcohol based in for soccer.
Could you have an alcohol based bouillon? Wow, what if we just thought of a new thing, guys? Like White Claw?
Yeah.
But actual claw.
The claw.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. All right. Money is yours. Who's hot? Who's not? How about 3 in the key for tonight? Okay. In-season tournament. Kings Thunder. I mean, this time it really is for real. It's the in-season tournament. I could not be more excited to celebrate. I'm wearing my Sac Republic shirt.
Perfect.
Let's go. Jason Ross.
All right, Dave.
Yeah.
Predictions here. We got a 3 in the key and pick 6. So let's go. SGA point total tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
42.
42. I have him for 33. Chris.
36.
36. All right, Dave. We're looking for, these guys have been struggling shooting threes. Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, each of their 3-point shooting night tonight.
Okay. Kevin Huerter, 2 of 7. Keegan Murray, 6 of 9. Malik Monk, 2 of 6.
All right. I have Keegan, 3 of 9. Kevin, 2 of 5. Monk, 3 of 8. Chris?
Keegan, 3 of 9. Kevin, 3 of 7. And Monk, 1 of 5.
Okay. And lastly, a random stat. Something weird, something odd, something different. We'll have it tonight.
Scott Moak is finally going to stop being a fraidy cat. And he's actually, because the crowd is begging for it, there's a reason why we've been losing games. He's finally going to lead the Sabonis chant.
Okay.
The sing and call back tonight, like Chris Verlaud tried to the other day.
Yeah.
I
heard him.
Heard me.
Yes.
He heard me.
Chris
he was calling the basketball game, and he heard me.
you. You were like the Braveheart of chanters out there with the sword all by himself.
Yeah.
While,
Follow me to freedom.
Right. And Moak is standing there along with the basketball ops.
Yeah.
Just with their backs turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Keon Ellis will score in double figures.
Keon
Ellis. Chris.
The first Light the Beam chant will be chanted with 90 seconds or more left.
Wow. I hope he gets the prize.
Okay.
Okay.
And then now we got to go to pick 6.
Yeah, let's do this
Transition.
quickly. Pick 6, Niners, Jaguars, Jason Ross.
All right, Dave, first 49er to score.
Hey, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey.
All right, I am going with Christian McCaffrey. Chris.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
First Niner to score.
Moody.
Okay. Dave, leading receiver for the 49ers in their yard total.
I'm going to keep it simple. Brandon Ayuk, 81.
I have Ayuk for 88.
Funny enough, Deebo Samuel for 92.
Wow. Okay. Funny enough. Sack total for Young and Bosa, the bookends. Total number of sacks.
Total number of sacks. I'll say 2.
I have 1.
3.
Purdy versus Lawrence yards. So yards for Brock Purdy, yards versus Trevor Lawrence.
228 for Purdy, 310 for Lawrence.
I have 267 for Purdy, 226 for Lawrence. Chris?
240 for Purdy, 255 for Lawrence.
All right. Score of the game.
Score of the game. Jaguars 44, Niners 10.
I have San Francisco 29-20. Chris?
Niners 31-20.
Dirty 30.
And last thing, Dave, random stats. Can you wear something different?
Jake Moody will kick a career high in yardage field goal. Let's call it 59.
Okay. Chase Young will recover a fumble for me.
Hey.
Chris?
Niners will have a defensive touchdown.
Hey. Nice. I hope Chris is right in all of his predictions. Like the light, the beam, the defensive touchdown, all of them.
There you go.
We'll take a break. When we come back, he's always right in his predictions. It was stories time with Greg Papa last week. We're going to get into the Niners matchup and what happened during the bye week from somebody who nobody knows more than this man, the voice of the Niners. On your home of the Niners, Greg Papa next, SactownSports.com.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
As a business owner, outfitting your van fleet with Mercedes Sprinter vans is just smart business. Mercedes Sprinters qualify for a remarkably generous IRS Section 179 tax deduction. This means you literally can save thousands in tax savings. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a dedicated Mercedes van department with trained commercial vehicle experts ready to help you take on any job. See our selection of capable Mercedes vans at mbofstockton.com.
Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed, custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings' first in-season tournament game is tonight when they host the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kings will still be without all-star guard De'Aaron Fox once again, who is out with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's Kings game starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Last week was a bye week for the 49ers. And I distinctly, not that I ever have to worry about what we're going to talk to Greg Papa about. Which, by the way, we're efforting Greg Papa as we speak. I like that verb, efforting.
Yeah, I did too.
And you never have to worry about what you're going to talk. Look, you ask Greg Papa 4 questions, and that's a sentence.
Yeah.
But you know, which way are we going to go here? And I don't even remember how, but it was Josh McDaniels getting fired. We got on this whole.
Yeah, I think you even started like before in the break. Literally, you said like maybe Kings Warriors. And
right.
I think we just kind of said, oh well, the Raiders thing happened, so he'll have something to say.
And boy, did he! That
was amazing.
Yeah, and a lot of folks enjoyed that, judging by the amount of people that picked that up and viewed it. And I mean, if you're a Raider fan, you may not have liked everything Greg said. Yeah. You know, I saw some of the reactions too. It's like, come on, man. Like, let's be, I get it. And I think Raider fan, they all want to get behind Antonio Pierce. I think that was a common misconception. You know, he was telling the story.
Sure.
Really. We've had a lot of enjoyable visits with Mr. Papa, but
yes.
that was
incredible,
right at the top. But you know what? The Niners are back. The boys are back in town, but they're in Florida.
Not in town.
Yeah, you get my point. And boy, must win. It's a must win this weekend. We need to hear lots of touchdowns and CMCs and all the fun stuff from Greg and Tim, who join us right now. I should say, Greg, the voice of the Niners, joining us. He will be with Tim this weekend, calling the game in Florida. Good morning, sir. How are you? Oh, yep. How about I click the button? Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Good morning. Take 2. Good morning, Sacramento. How are you guys?
Great.
Just getting ready to go over the facility and fly out to Jacksonville. It's a long flight. First of all, it's about a 5-hour flight going that way, and maybe probably like 6 with the wind coming home. So another one where it's difficult. When you kick off at 10 o'clock in the morning and the team has to make a cross-country flight, there was a long time where West Coast teams didn't do well on the East Coast, but a lot of that was just a down cycle with the West Coast teams. The West Coast teams are better now. But Jacksonville's a good team. This is going to be a hard game. It's I'm not going to compare it to Cleveland or Minnesota and Cincinnati directly. I think there are some commonalities. Cleveland and Cincinnati both were coming off their byes, and Jacksonville's not only coming off their bye, but they had a Thursday night game before their most recent game against Pittsburgh. So they've played one game in the last 23 days. And the 49ers obviously are coming off the bye. I do see a fresher, a more energized team that I saw certainly against the Bengals. But I'm here to tell you, it's going to be a hard game. I think the one thing that's different, and we'll know when we get there, the football fans in North Florida are not as rabid as they are in South Florida and some areas of that state, or certainly Minnesota. I think going there to play that game and going to Cleveland was just daunting because of the wind and the weather and the dog pound in Cleveland and that skull drum and torn and all the noise they have in Minnesota. I still got a headache. So I'm really anxious to see if the 49er fans can take this stadium over. I'm reading that there's 54% or the tickets are going to be Niner fans. So we'll see if they can take Everbank Stadium over, but it's going to be a hard game. We'll see how many touchdowns San Francisco's we get. It's a good defense. They lead the NFL among the top few teams in forcing turnovers. They get a lot of interceptions, and they're really hard to run on. They're difficult with Trayvon Walker, the number 1 pick on one side, and Josh Allen on the other side. So I know people think Jacksonville and, they'll go there and roll them, but this is the hottest team in pro football right now. The Jaguars have won 5 in a row, and they're 6-2 overall. So this is going to be a tough game.
Greg, do you expect that the Niners will have Trent Williams for this one?
I don't know. I was encouraged more. He told me he was going to play. And then yesterday he was not a full participant in practice. It's a bad ankle sprain. I just think he's had that ankle at the right ankle. Going back to the Green Bay game, remember the snow game when Talanoa Hufanga and Jordan Willis combined on that great block punt and scoop and score of that game. He got it in that game, and I remember seeing him after getting on the plane, and he had a full boot, and he wound up playing the championship game the next week in L.A. against the Rams, but he should not have. They had a 2nd and 1 in that game and a 3rd and 2 that Eric Weddle stuffed. But they look back on, I think it was Trent just not being able to get off the ball. So he's kind of in the same situation. He got it in Cleveland. He got rolled up on, and it was kind of a bad one. Shelby Harris, the veteran lineman, rolled into him, and he came out for 2 snaps, came back into the game, and played the whole game. But he wasn't right. It was clearly his worst game of the year, and then he missed the last 2. So we'll know more today, Jace. I think we'd like to hear he's a full participant in practice today, but now we're going to get a designation. So I would think that he would be questionable going into the game. I don't think they'll just say he's out. I don't think they'll put a probable on him. Maybe if he has a good day of practice, but I think he'll probably by the end of the day, it'll still be questionable whether Trent will be able to go.
Greg Papa with us, voice of the Niners, right here in your home of the Niners, Sactown Sports. So 3 in a row, get the bye week. You get Chase Young. Debo's healthy, and we hope Trent's going to be healthy. But also, coach is moving from the booth to the sideline. Steve Wilkes moving down there, and we talked about it a little bit this week. But as people saw last week, there aren't too many people that know the ins and outs and the X's and O's of football more than you, Greg. So, can you help us a little bit with why, and then what changes? What are the positives and or negatives from a guy going from the booth to the sideline?
Communication, be able to talk to his players directly. So it's just, do you want to be up in the booth to call the game or on the sideline? But I obviously call, when I broadcast the game, I'm up in a booth. When I watch practice, I'm down on the sideline. And it's a completely different perspective. And there are times I see things better from the booth. There are times I see things better from the sideline. There are times on the sideline, if you're on, one side of the field and you want to watch something on the other side, you don't see it. I like to stand behind the offense when I'm watching practice always, and Kyle likes to stand behind the defense when he's calling plays to see the rotation of the defense. So when you're on the sideline, the field is 53 1/3 wide, so you're not going to see it all. But these coaches have trained their eyes differently. So I spoke to him in the off season during our State of the Franchise. We had a discussion about it, and then training camp. And he has called plays before from the field when he was in Cleveland. Hell, he was a head coach in the NFL. He was the coach of the Arizona Cardinals in 2018. They beat the Niners twice that year. They won 3 games total, and 2 of the wins were against the Niners with Josh Rosen as quarterback. And the main reason was their defense. He called plays from the field and upstairs in college at Missouri. He's done both. I think this was simply a communication factor. And when you're busting in the secondary, where the secondary's not meeting up at the linebacker level and among themselves, the linebacker level's not matching up with the D line. You want a coordination of all the groups, and you can do it on headsets upstairs with what they call an all call, or just the defensive side can talk. They can break the communication down to anything they want. They can talk to a specific coach, or Kyle's got an all call where he talks to all the coaches, but really you want it to be where I can look you in the eye and not have to go through a speaker system. And then the other thing is Steve was not calling the plays directly into Fred Warner's helmet. It was going from Steve Wilkes to Johnny Holland, the linebacker coach on the sideline, then into Fred's helmet. So just to take the middleman out of it, and that's not like Johnny was relaying the wrong call. First of all, calling defenses is like one word. A lot of times Anaheim is one of the calls. That's probably the most prevalent one they use, and that's just cover 3. When they want to play cover 3, they simply say Anaheim. Where Kyle Shanahan calls a play, and it's like, are you done yet? I fell asleep. It's like 3 paragraphs. So it's not as wordy and cumbersome. But I think bottom line, like our talk today is going great, right? We're having a nice conversation. Wouldn't you rather have me in studio, looking you in the eye and talking about, so it's just, it's just body language. Also, Fred, the speaker helmet for Fred Warner is just a speaker. He does not have a microphone. So how does he talk to Steve Wilkes? He has to get on a phone on the sideline in the old school way where you just come over and maybe you're more inclined if he's standing right next to you when you walk off the field and say, hey, coach, I don't think we're playing that flat route right. We need to be up on that, or somebody needs to be over. It was whatever. I got to twist. I can come in behind, and be a part of the rush package, or Nick sees something, or it's just a way to communicate better. But what it does, it opens up your ears and your other senses. But really, it comes down to whether Coach Wilkes is comfortable calling the defense from the field when he has stated he prefers to call it from the booth. And Kyle Shanahan was actually talking this week. One year, they kicked him upstairs in Atlanta. He had called offenses when he was an OC his whole career from the sideline, but he got into Kyle's got a fiery temper. And when he was coaching Matt Ryan in Atlanta, he would tear into Matt Ryan when Ryan would come off the field, and they kind of got ugly. So Dan Quinn said, Kyle, why don't you go upstairs and keep away from our quarterback, and we'll have Mike LaFleur relay your whatever you want to say in a more tactful way. And that was the year Matt won the MVP. And Atlanta went to the Super Bowl and scored over 30 points a game, and it was all great. Kyle did say he does prefer it. So I think it's not necessarily going to be for the whole year. It's going to be if they can tighten up things. I just think they're busting too much, especially the Minnesota game. So that would be my take on why to do it, just to make sure the communication flow goes from the guy calling the defense to the players that have to actually execute the call.
Greg, what do you think the impact will be for Steve Wilkes in the defense to have Chase Young now? I mean, just another supremely talented edge rusher, but how do you think his fit will go as soon as this week for the 49ers?
He'll fit in. I don't think he starts right away. I think Cleveland Furrow will still stay in the base. Cleveland played well, and his best game as a Niner was a Bengal game. He had a punch out of a fumble against their tight end, Irv Smith Jr., that saved a touchdown right on the goal line, and he was involved in another sack, and he played well. He's a good head setter. So, and he also was from Clemson, so he knows Trevor Lawrence and the running back Travis Etienne. So he knows them all. But I think initially Chase will mix in either the Bravo package, which is the backup. So the alphas is what Cassera calls the starters. So I think that'll stay Nick Bosa on one end, Cleve Furrow on the other, Javon Hargrave inside, and Armstead. And then when they go Bravo, they bring in the sub package. I think he and Randy Gregory will come in, and then obviously Kinlaw and Kevin Givens inside. I don't even know if Drake Jackson will get a jersey in this game. He's got a bit of a knee. It's possible he's inactive for this game. So that's where I think Chase would take Drake's spot. And then the real interesting thing to me, Jace, is how do they use him in the turbo, which is the pass rushing package. I call it the gold rush, going back to Cedric Hardman days back in the 70s. How do you use Chase Young there and Randy Gregory? Can they both be involved somehow? Obviously, Bosa's not coming off the field. Hargrave's a great inside rusher, as is Armstead. So do they go to a 5-man line at times when they want to rush the quarterback? Usually 5-man lines are used to play the run. They could do both, and you don't know exactly what a team is going to do. But if you get into second and third and longs and you want that turbo to go get the quarterback, where does Chase fit in? I think he'll be in that package. I'm just not sure how they'll do it with Randy Gregory and Bosa and Armstead and the Gravedigger.
Greg Papa joining us, voice of the 49ers. Sometimes I like to run things by you, Greg, because you have a good way of seeing through a lot of the crap that's out there. I saw the stat the other day. I'm sure you've come across it. I won't get the numbers right, but it was something like lifetime Kyle Shanahan is like 1-31 when trailing by 3 or more in the fourth, and 0 and God knows what when trailing by 6. When you see something like that, is there any part where you go, Kyle didn't do great in fourth quarters and they got to have the lead, or is that a misleading number to you?
Well, I've seen different versions of that. 0 for 39 when down 8 or less or something. And what is he down 7 or less? So I off the top of my head, the 2019 year, we had two games where they had to win them in the fourth quarter. And it was the game in New Orleans. What did that game wind up? 48-45 or some ridiculous shootout number. It was amazing. It was Kyle and Jimmy against Sean Payton and Drew Brees. And it was a shootout. And remember the 4th and 2 throw to Kittle that Jimmy hit, and he went down the sideline, and their safety grabbed him and had a personal foul, and they wound up winning that game. I remember a game against the LA Rams that year in 2019. Saturday night, late season, had to have it to be the number 1 seed. And they converted a pair of, 3rd and 16s, I think. One to Emmanuel Sanders, one to Kendrick Bourne. That Jalen Ramsey lost his mind on and went crazy on their safety, Taylor Rapp. So, and then you wound up winning the game with a field goal. So, and then how about the game we talked about, the Talanoa Hufanga scoop and score game in Green Bay? And that was a tie game, and they were down, but they had to drive the length of the field in the snow. Jimmy had to make a couple of big throws with the bad thumb and the bad shoulder, and Debo ran that inside run, in the backfield in the Deadpool formation to pick up enough yardage to get Robbie Gould a field goal. So I don't know. I mean, you can make numbers spin any way you want. I think the bottom line is they have not had to come from behind a lot to win. So if you're saying he's over, Kyle's got a good one-loss record, especially in 19, 21, and 22, and so far in 23. Had the one bad year when they were, 6 and 10 in the pandemic year, but they got hurt. And then the first 2 years, he didn't have any players. He had to build a roster. They got Bosa and the quarterback healthy. So obviously they're playing with the lead a lot. And I think that's really the recipe for this game is don't fall behind. Don't come from behind. When the Niners got off to the 5-0 start, Dave, they trailed for exactly 100 seconds the first 5 games of the year. And that was the last 1 minute and 40 seconds in LA, week 2. And then they came right back and tied the game before halftime when Kyle went for it with a second to go to get the Purdy sneak for the touchdown. They have not led for a single second the last 2 games. They never led in Minnesota. They never led in Cincinnati down the entire game. That's not the way the Niners play. They play with the lead. They unleash the gold rush. They rush the ball down your throat. And that's how Jacksonville plays, by the way. During their 5-game winning streak, Jacksonville has had the lead the entire time, with the exception of 3 minutes against Indianapolis, and they fell behind 3-0. Otherwise, they've been front runners the whole time. So to me, the key to this game is to score first and never let them get the lead at all. Let them play from behind and they're still young. They're very talented offensively, but they're young, talented guys that are still trying to prove themselves. So the Niners, they haven't won a Super Bowl yet, but the Niners have won a lot of big games, both playoffs and regular season games, to get into playoffs and proper seeding. So I think the bottom line is you don't want to have to come from behind. I remember years ago they asked Johnny Unitas, the great Hall of Fame quarterback, about John Elway's stats. John Elway had the most comeback wins in the NFL in the fourth quarter in history and all time. And they asked Johnny, why didn't you have more fourth quarter comebacks? And he said, I always led when I went to the fourth quarter. I was never behind. So I think I don't know what to make of those numbers, except the 49ers are front runners. So don't put yourself in a position where you have to come from behind. Just score first, score often, score throughout, and never fall behind in the game would be the formula.
Talk with Greg Papa. Greg, you said, we listened to you, so much information, stuff you're saying off the top of your head. I know you're always prepared. So it got me thinking when you said you're flying out for 5 hours, obviously the flight home may take you 6. How do you personally spend your time on the flight?
How do you think?
Watching more stuff, reading?
I'm going to download. Yeah, I'm going to read, but I'm going to download. I got 2 Jacksonville Jaguar games already downloaded. One on my Xfinity app that'll give me a whole game with them against Pittsburgh, and then I love the new Red Zone on YouTube TV. It's just such a better technological app, and I love DirecTV, but this one's so much better. It allows me to download. So I got one game on one iPad, one game on another iPad. It's about a 5-hour flight, so I think that'll get me through the entire flight. I watch the all 22 stuff during the week, but when I'm flying, I like the slow pace of the game to be a little slower, and I like to watch the game broadcast and also steal a nugget or two from the broadcasters and what they, graphics they have and notes they have. So I'll watch 2 Jacksonville games flying there, and then flying home, I will watch football as long as we can before we take off, and then I'll lose the streaming where it's fast enough for me to be able to watch like Sunday night football, Raiders and Jets flying home. So you know what I got planned for that is to record the Warriors Cavaliers game and then download that on Saturday night and Sunday morning and watch the Warrior game on the way back. So amazing. I'm always watching something.
Well, as we wrap up, as we're out of time, have a safe trip. I don't think in any of our conversations ever, I don't think I've ever asked you this. So I'm hoping since you're going back there, you might do me a favor, especially in that neck of the woods, Greg. Would you please bring us back a win? Please. Please.
Well, I don't have much say in that.
Yes, you do. Yes, I believe that you do.
How do I impact that?
You announce your presence with authority. You impact the game.
I don't think so. But I will say, I thought the Cleveland game was going to be hard. I may have been the only one that thought that, but I thought a team coming off their bye week and Bill Callahan running their offense run game and Jim Schwartz in defense, and I thought we'd win in Minnesota. I got to say that one surprised me. But I thought the Bengal game, it went almost exactly as I thought. I just felt, hey, the Bengals may go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they were coming off their bye week and their quarterback's over the calf injury. And I just thought, whoa, our team is tired. The quarterback's in concussion protocol. It's going to be a hard game. This game, I do respect Jacksonville, but I don't think they're quite ready yet. I think this is going to be like a playoff game for them. The Niners are refreshed and ready and energized, and they're going to come in and get the Niners. Like, what game do the Niners have to play to win this game? If they play their A game, they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get by playing their B game and win? I think possibly. I think this is still a young team that has a little bit of a disconnect, especially in the red zone with the quarterback who's really skilled and the wide receivers, and mainly Calvin Ridley. They're still kind of learning each other a little bit. So I'm not going to guarantee a win, but I feel much better about this game than I did certainly going to Cleveland and when Cincinnati came in. So I think I may be able to help you out there, Dave. I may be able to go to Duval and bring back a win. I might be able to do that.
All right, there's a box of good Chidato cookies. We're getting around that time.
We are. I know we are.
We are. We're going to have that conversation.
Chidati.
Good Chidati. It's our tradition. Safe flight, sir. Thank you so much. Have a great call on Sunday.
You realize I'm flying on the charter. So if we don't have a safe flight, we're not going to win.
That's a good one right there.
I love when people tell me to have a safe flight. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
If we don't have one. And you know what's terrible about if anything ever should happen on the flight with with the team?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be in the and others.
This got dark.
I'm not going to make it at all. Who's the headliner in that? Nick Bosa, Shanahan,
and others.
I'm going to get a headline. Terrible.
Well, we'll do it. How do you want to go down this
I
road?
don't either.
I'm knocking on wood. I'm throwing salt over my shoulder now. We'll see you next Friday, bright and early, sir. Take care.
We will have a safe flight.
Yes, you will. Thank you, Greg. That's Greg Papa. I mean, he's not wrong, but yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
We do a whole memorials. Is that a word?
I don't know.
Memorials? What? Okay.
Hey, we have celebrity birthdays coming up.
Yeah, we do. And look, all jokes aside, bottom line on Sunday, in addition to obviously the defense performing, is can Kyle Shanahan get back to doing what his offenses do with or without Trent Williams and have those signature 5, 10, 12-minute drives that just absolutely demolish the defense. Sorry, I tried to hold it together. And speaking of drives, I had it. It was such a good transition. And then you did the look. Just absolutely got me. Dang it. It's a very good transition. Speaking of drives, head on up to Hoblet right now. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening at Hoblet this month? Well, let me tell you, we're celebrating. If you're on YouTube, you can see it right now. Jason's celebrating a little shoulder shrug. Celebrating the Black Friday sales event all month long, which means, was that a row? He's rowing, which means they're paying for this too. You are saving big with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. That means you can get your new truck today with no payments till 2024. And there's new Rams starting below $30,000. What do you think? You're dang right, Aomga. Huge savings on heavy duties as well. That's why Hoblet's number one in all the Ram truck dealers in California, number 3 in the US of A. $15,000 off MSRP on those new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy duty crew cabs. You get the brand new heavy duty truck you want, starting as low as $45,995. Get your new truck now at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center, or search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. What to watch in celebrity birthdays next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win.
He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here, telling you something you already know. Your time is important, and that's why at American Energy Heating and Air, they make shopping for a furnace easy with their new online quoting tool. Just go to AmericanEnergyAir.com, get an instant quote today. That'll help you determine what system you need to get and provide the best pricing options as well from the comforts of your home. Here's the thing. Nobody's going to come to your home. Nobody will come to your home. That's convenience. Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want, give them a call and talk through what your needs are. Call 916-520-9990 today. 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Your defending Big Sky champion Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday afternoon against the Cal Poly Mustangs. It's Military Appreciation Day at Hornet Stadium as we honor our local heroes. And don't miss the pregame flyover as kickoff is set for 2 p.m. Let's pack Hornet Stadium for the final regular season home game of the year as the Hornets strive for a 4th straight trip to the postseason. Don't miss any of the action or excitement of Hornet football. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
A lot to watch tonight, and I'm happy to report a lot to eat when I get home. I got good leftovers today, Jason. We've talked about that before. It's always good when you got good leftovers to go home to, and makes you feel even better about getting towards the end of the day.
Where's the food, dude?
That's right. You reading the note?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it good?
That's celebrity birthday.
Oh.
You versus Chris.
We've also got things to watch tonight. Thunder Kings. It's the start of the tournament.
Yes.
The NBA Cup. This time it's for real.
Does that do anything for you?
Why'd you do that in the MASH place?
He'll have to play you the promo.
Okay. All right. Pelicans, Rockets, Houston going for 5 in a roser.
That's cute.
Isn't that? They live in the front row of the league.
They do.
Jazz and Grizzlies, if you combine, don't combine those names.
What's wrong with Graz?
Yeah, Grizzlies.
There you go.
Senator Grizzlies.
The teams are combined 3-14. Wow, did the Kings ruin the Jazz's season?
Yep.
I think they did too. Timberwolves at Spurs.
Who cares?
Oh, I'll tell you a little bit of why I care.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert versus Victor Wembanyama, and I mean that's the Stifle Tower versus the baby Stifle Tower. Like they're
it's
both
crazy how small Rudy Gobert looks compared to him.
Wembanyama?
Yeah, Wembanyama. Yes, Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're both French, right? Isn't Wembanyama from France?
Oui.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you got the 2 tallest French centers in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Facing off.
Mm-hmm.
This is the international thing. There's going to be surrendering and fries and all kissing and all the awesome stuff.
Mustard.
Okay. And then we got to do celebrity birthdays, but real quick. All right. Mount Frenchmore.
Fries.
Fries. Kiss.
Bread.
Wait, what?
Bread.
Fries, kiss, bread.
Dressing?
No.
Mr. French
mustard. French. Is there a person with French?
Oh, come on, toast.
Oh yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
Well, don't know. You didn't. It came to you.
I know.
Don't act like you've been holding it back.
I'm saying like a combined.
The royal
yes.
combined.
He gets toast and bread though.
Royale.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I mean,
you eat French bread with Italian food.
Great point. Weird, but great point.
Great
so
point.
bread, toast, kiss, fries.
Yeah.
Also, just moving on, but shout out to Navy. Without them, we maybe don't win the war against the Redcoats.
You won't know that from the Patriot.
Yeah, GD right. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by the Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. May I add, Crumble Cookies, good for all. occasions, including hopefully 2 missed free throws this evening.
Happened yesterday or the other day.
Yeah, I did. Jason Ross.
All right, we're going to keep score today just because I want to.
Okay.
Between Dave and Chris.
Yeah.
So happy birthday on this November 10th to Tracy Morgan.
Tracy.
I'm going to get her pregnant.
Morgan. Actually older than people think. He's 58.
No, he's 62.
Dave for the win. 55 for Tracy Morgan.
Knew it.
Happy birthday to Warren G.
Oh, it's Nate Dogg that's no longer with us, huh? I knew one of them was from Regulate. Regulate.
No.
I didn't find out till recently it was a sample of a Doobie Brothers song. I didn't know that. Warren G is actually, he's 61.
Warren to the G is only 54.
Christopher Ladd for the win. He is 53.
Oh, wow.
All right. Happy birthday to Tommy Davidson from In Living Color and many other things.
I'm running things. That's my favorite line he ever had. Tommy Davidson, 55.
62.
Christopher Ladd with a win, 60.
God!
Tommy Davidson. Chris now up 2-1. Happy birthday to Sinbad.
They're Sin good. Sinbad is 67.
He's 63.
We have a correct answer. It's worth 2 points. Goes to Carmichael Dave.
That's what I'm talking about,
60.
Sinbad.
Just changing the rules as we go.
It's worth 12 points.
Happy birthday to Ellen Pompeo. Let's see.
Mike Pompeo's daughter?
She was in Old School,
Yeah, I'm just
Grey's
gonna-
Anatomy.
You can just look at my screen. I'm not trying to cheat here. I'll share with Chris. I'm just trying to
So you see her?
look at images. I want to blow it up just in case the birthday's on there. Okay. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Ellen Pompeo is 67.
54.
We have a correct answer. It's worth 2 points. Christopher Ladd, 54.
God.
Changing the rules
Sorry,
as we go.
Sorry, Ellen.
67. You saw her picture and elevated her 13 years.
I hope
that was really bad.
I hope she was not watching.
Wow, she is. Happy birthday to Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater.
32.
That's, damn it. He's either 31, 32, or 33. I'll say 33.
That was a very important guess, and you went the wrong way. Christopher Ladd for the win. He is 31. Happy birthday to former wide receiver, I believe. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Isaac Bruce.
Stop trying to run the clock, Chris. What's the score, by the way?
5-3, Chris.
Son of a. Isaac Bruce, actually, younger than you think. He is 47.
I'm going to say big 5-0.
Chris for the win. He is 51. Happy birthday to Sacramento Zone, someone you know personally. Dave, you need to get this right. Dante Stallworth.
Dante Stallworth. By the way,
birthday.
I took a time out after that last correct
Oh, yeah, it's
answer.
a run. He's on a run.
Dante Stallworth. Tennessee's Dante Stallworth is 44.
41.
Dave with a win, 43 for Dante Stallworth. Happy birthday to Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins.
37.
38.
Dave for the win, 39. Right now it is 6-5. Chris, we got a couple more. Jack Clark, former San Francisco Giant.
Wait, what?
Jack Clark, former San Francisco Giants.
Cardinal, Giant. I don't know who else he played.
Jack Clark is 73.
65.
Chris for the win. He is 68.
God, stupid Jack Clark.
Happy birthday to Les Miles.
Oh, LSU.
Yeah, he would eat the grass.
Yeah. He is 69. Nice.
61.
Dave for the win.
What's the score?
It's Chris up by 1. I got a few more if you want.
Yeah. Well, how much time do we have?
We're past.
Okay. All right. 2 more, no matter what happens.
Okay. We have exactly. No, we have. Okay. Happy birthday to Zach Ertz. Former tight end of the Eagles, Cardinals. Yeah.
He is 34.
33.
We have a correct answer. It's Carmichael Dave, who has gone ahead. 33. You said 2 more no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. You can
Chris,
tie.
since you're behind.
Yeah.
Chris, you can pick from country music star Miranda Lambert, former NFL coach Mike McCarthy, current coach of the Cowboys, And those are our two choices.
And I'll go one step further, and you can choose if you want to pick first.
I want to pick second, Miranda Lambert.
Just for fun, what do you guys guess on Mike McCarthy? This doesn't count, just for fun.
47.
64. 4.
Dave would have won that. Okay, so Miranda Lambert for the win.
God dang it.
Dave goes first, right?
55.
Miranda Lambert is 49.
Chris, for the win, you guys tied 40. Just 40. It's a tie.
See what happens when you put meaning to meaningless
Yeah,
things?
I know. Now it's competitive. All right, fine. We'll take the fourth caller at 1-800-920-1140. Creed tickets for you. Sactown Sports teaming up with Live Nation to take you higher. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Looking for caller number 3 to win a pair of tickets to experience Creed live in Wheatland, September 1st, 2024. For more info, SactownSports.com. We're back with Crosstalk and Friday Fun and Games. Next.
Looking to snap their 3-game losing streak. The San Francisco 49ers are back in action this Sunday on Sactown Sports.
McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
It's the 49ers and Jaguars from Jacksonville.
Sunday morning at 10 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
Hey, y'all. This is Bill with the Good Guys. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling for all your home comfort needs. Are you tired of big companies overcharging? Have you received a jaw-dropping price for repairs, replacement of your HVAC system? Good Guys are here to help. We offer free second opinions. We guarantee to beat any quote for repair or replacement from the big companies out there. We got the best price, best service, guaranteed. And that's no bull.
Call 530-GOOD-AIR. License number 1057618.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Most people know that the term birdie in golf refers to a score of 1 under par, but where did the term originate? According to Scottish Golf History website, it comes from the early 20th century American slang term bird, which meant anything excellent. While a 1911 edition of Maclean magazine described a golf shot as bird straight down the course about 215 yards, the country club in Atlantic City lays claim to the first use of the word birdie. In 1898, A.B. Smith was playing the par 4 second hole when his second shot went within inches of the hole. That was a bird of a shot, he said, and claimed he should get double money if he scored 1 under par. He did indeed hold his putt, and the group thereafter referred to such a score as a birdie. In 1913, acclaimed writer Bernard Darwin wrote in the September issue of Country Life of his visit to America. He explained that it takes a day or two for the English onlooker to understand that a birdie is a hole done in a stroke under par. And now you know. That's Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed, custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet Arch Support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
We have finally made it to Friday
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games.
on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Man, Alan asked the weirdest questions during the break, but I love him for it. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I liked your video this morning.
Oh, thank you.
That was good.
I got a lot.
It came up on my timeline.
Oh, you're still following, huh?
Yeah.
See?
Week later.
You see that? Made it a full week. Good morning. How are you? How are you both?
Outstanding.
You know, that's a nice hockey sweater.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
You're
It's
wearing.
a sweater.
It's not a hockey jersey.
Not a jersey, no.
Hockey sweater.
Sweater.
I know we got to do Friday Fun and Games. I just want to point out nobody's opened these yet.
Open them for him.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Can I be honest? I won them when I was like the week before I came up in trivia. And I got that, and I got a couple scratchers that I have not scratched yet. They're still in my backpack. And I got to be honest, I'm just more of a sour guy.
I got you.
So that's all you.
No,
They would have eaten them all. He just needs you to open them.
It's kind of.
I'll open them right here.
Christopher Lott and I both agree. We've been staring at these for 2 days, but there's something.
Do you like this? Do you like the open, or do you like the side?
No, I
rim?
like the just take the top off.
There you go.
Chris and I both agreed that there's something. It feels impolite. Thank you. To open somebody else's stuff, and maybe it goes back to like some sort of caveman-y, like you brought home the elephant, so you get the first bite of the elephant. I don't know, but here we go.
Yeah,
thanks for your secondhand gummies.
There you go. There you go.
Also, leave the scratches here too. If you, I mean,
No.
Okay.
What would that etiquette be?
Right. I'd scratch the hell out of them.
No, but like you hit a big prize.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd give everybody $20. Tell them I'm 180.
Smart.
Friday Fun and Games, brought to you by Gummy Bears. Is it the best of all gummies? And I mean, like gummies kids can eat. I don't know, but do we need music?
Sure,
do
we
we need
can have some
something?
background
I'm just
music.
vamping here
Some
real
different.
quick.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. It's odd that you asked some questions during the break because this is unrelated, but I have a much tamer version of what you said. So, Dave,
Thank goodness.
I have would you rather questions here, but these are tame.
Okay.
Pick a number between 1 and 100.
Now I need to know what yours was.
Oh, you don't.
You walked in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Give me 7. Lucky
Number 7. Would you be, interesting for you. Would you rather be without your smartphone for a week or not use Alexa for a week?
Who uses Alexa?
Alexa can eat one. Give me
That was
a
an easy
smartphone.
one?
Yeah.
All right, Alan, 1 to 100.
74.
74, great number. Would you rather be fluent in all languages or master of every musical instrument?
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a great one.
Wow. I would say at this point in my life, I'd have to go with being fluent in every language.
That's the correct answer.
Which do you think you could monetize more?
Probably the language, unless you like go to circuses and you're like, look at the amazing instrument guy.
Right.
Because you hear about people that do have a mastery of musicians, like, oh, he's a school teacher in Iowa.
Exactly. He plays 27
Shout out all
instruments.
school teachers
Yeah.
in Iowa. Geez.
Yeah.
Christopher Ladd, 1 to 100.
17.
17.
Such a Chris number.
Would you rather
It's
always
Kevin
say...
De Bruyne's number.
I
Kevin
freaking knew it. No, let's not do that.
Sorry.
Let's not do that.
Christopher Ladd, would you rather always say everything on your mind or never speak again?
Never speak again.
But he says everything
He already
does.
Because there are times I tell you, but I'm like, I
that's
open
true.
the mic and I turn it off immediately.
It should be
Think about the things he doesn't say.
That's
or it
actually
should be, would he be allowed to record everybody else's mind?
for
Oh,
real.
geez.
Oh my goodness.
Kids.
We'll do
It's a comedy.
let's do rom-com.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
'cause,
Is
you
it?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you get.
Yeah, that's
Can you pick your
Yeah, absolutely.
Mila Kunis, please.
I don't
Okay.
know. I think you might have to go Thriller.
Huh.
I'm not trying to die.
Yeah.
It's not
You're
real
the
life.
hero.
Put myself in. Heroes die all the time. You know, those are the real heroes.
Give
You know,
me
if you're
Meryl
willing to
Streep
sacrifice
in a rom-com all day.
Yeah.
Dave, 1 to 100.
That depends. Give me 1.
1.
Ooh.
Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren?
That's great.
Real quick question. Can I do whatever I want in the past? Like, can I be like, hey, Granny, buy Apple? Or, no, I just meet them?
Then you don't exist because she's super rich.
Great point. I'll go in the past just to see what's
to
up.
ruin things.
Yeah, just to screw around. I don't want. What if I go in the future and everyone's lame? And I don't want to know that.
That's
Hey,
your
look,
fault. What if you're like
Yeah.
really like dumb in the future?
Yeah.
Too?
Totally.
Like they're just like, look
It's
at
like
this.
idiocracy.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah.
Like, hey, look, polio.
Yeah, Carmichael Dave the 12th is like, I don't know what they're. Yeah, I'm like, oh man, it's my fault.
All right, Alan, 1 to 100.
Let's go with 32.
32. Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
It's getting hot in here. It's always too hot.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people I know. What's going on here?
Sorry, that was
Did you guys just?
I just tossed him a gummy bear, high-fived him for
Nailed
that, and in the process of a super quick high five, realized he has cold and clammy hands.
Ooh.
Boy, those cold and clammy.
Woo! So you'd rather
Like
be
some
too
God
hot
on
or
it.
too cold?
Well, you know, a lot of people say I'd rather be too cold because I can warm myself up more easily. But I'm going to play the game and not assume that I can grab sweaters or whatever. I'd rather be too hot.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, what would my answer be, Jason? Yeah,
Easy. Chris, Verlad?
I will take 10.
Number 10. Would you rather work more hours per day but fewer days, or work fewer hours per day but more days?
Gee. Here?
Yeah, of course.
I guess
it?
fewer days. That's it.
Fewer days?
Fewer days.
All right. Chris Watkins?
Number 5.
Number 5.
No ma.
Would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
Ooh. Give me lottery. Yeah. Who wants to be like 160?
Well, I think that's
just,
where the cap. Like,
barely.
can you be in your like?
You think in your
Dracula?
prime or
Are you
something?
just chilling?
Yeah.
Does Chris Watkins finish round what, 2 or 3?
Two.
Are you the last of
Yes.
that? Can I ask you one? I was watching it today. It was a round table with Mike Wallace and Peter Jennings and a bunch of journalists from like the 80s. Here's the question. You're like an A-plus journalist. You're covering a war that the U.S. is involved in. You find out during the course of you being over there, you're embedded with the enemy. And you find out that they're about to attack an American troop battalion the next day. Do you do your journalistic job and simply observe and report, or do you excuse yourself and go and warn the battalion that they're about to get attacked? This is a real roundtable I retweeted that was absolutely fascinating.
Did this happen? Like this?
This was a whole experience, and so you got all these A-plus journalists saying different things in a very intellectual conversation. Do you warn the battalion, or do you say, I'm here to observe and report to the people? This is not my place.
Boy, I think it's is the battalion like your that is it your?
It's the U.S. battalion. It's U.S. soldiers. Yeah,
warn them.
I'm the same, but like, guess what?
Wait, what if it was different country? You wouldn't warn them?
Well, I mean, like you're on a side, right? You're like, I
You're
don't
on
know.
a side.
Well, if you're U.S. versus whatever, I'm just saying. Like, if it was U.S. versus whoever you're fighting, right? You're not going to warn the people you're fighting. Is all I'm saying. They were split evenly between the two. And what I just did there, guys, is I completely brought the mood all the way down.
All the way.
What a way to end a Friday.
Going into the end of it. No, but it was. I invite you to watch this on Twitter. It's all these classic journalists, many of which aren't here, that are having an incredibly that's an. I mean, I'll say it's an impossible question. That is a difficult question to answer. What are you guys going to talk about today?
No Fox, no problem. We'll find that out. Larry Krueger at 1 p.m. talking Niners. And we're really going to break down this Brock thing. There are some really interesting stats in terms of if Brock is elite or quite the opposite.
Lesnar?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Say hi to Larry for me.
I will.
I haven't talked to Larry in a while. Larry says, "Hey, can you come on my show for 20 minutes?" I knock out I got to space out 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to talk to Krueger. All right. Thank you, everybody, for Jason Ross, for Chris Verlad, for Greg Papa, for Dave Richard, for Brendan Nunes. Happy Veterans Day, too, to all who have served, all that are serving, and we sleep under your blanket of freedom. We love you. We appreciate you. Styles and Watkins next. Light the beam. Bye-bye now. Daddy like.
Friday night at the Golden One Center, it's the Kings' first ever in-season tournament game.
Sabonis heels at the arc. Now to Keegan Murray on a run by. He shoots for three.